This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Thank you, David. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to DBL. It's Wednesday, July 28th. I got my friends here, Lindsay and Al, and all of you out there. You're my friends. All right, let's get started. Simone Biles, she's taken a chance to take home at the gold in the Summer Games, is now fading because we just found out she withdrew from the all-around gymnastics competition due to mental health issues. Today, fellow Olympians like Michael Phelps, Dominique Dawes are all defending her decision. Let's all take a look.
First, I wanted to make sure she was okay. You know, it's got to be difficult having something like that happen in a competition. You know, we were just talking. I don't know if that's ever happened for me. So, but also, I think on the other side, this is an opportunity for us, all of us, to really learn more about mental health.
She's been labeled as the GOAT. She's been an Olympian before. She's expected to bring home 5+ Olympic medals and also lead the team. There's a lot that's put up on this young girl, but what I respect most about her is she's listening to her inner voice, and she made a decision that was best for her.
But there are those who are calling her out for abandoning her team. Those in quotes, of course, including this is Piers Morgan, who tweeted, Simone Biles calls herself the greatest of all time, but no GOAT would quit on their teammates like that, costing them an Olympic gold medal. I want to remind everyone, Piers Morgan is the host that walked off after a weatherman got mad at him in an argument from television. Sorry for that little aside. I just have to say, come on, Piers. But what do you guys think about this? And do you think, and I want to ask the DBL Nation too, is this a generational thing? Like Michael Jordan played through that fever. Remember that game where everyone knows he played through? Carrie Strug landed one-footed, and Bella Caroli pushed her to do it. And this generation's like, no, I'm not going to make that decision. The greatest decision is knowing when to stop.
Yeah. For sure. I think it's definitely generational. We've all learned, even in the pandemic in the last year, what it looks like to really spend time with our kids or spend time at home and really just have a work-life balance. Some people learned the hard way, whatever it was, but people learned how to like say no, or at least I can say I did. I don't know if everyone did. People who had the luxury to work and also work from home. But I think in Simone Biles' case, like she has gone through so much trauma, just on a spectrum. Let's just look at her life. She was adopted. Her mom struggled with drugs, left her at 2 years old, adopted by her grandparents, and then she was sexually abused by Larry Nassar growing up as an Olympian. She's only 24 years old. You know, she's trying her hardest, and people are saying that she quit or that she's not mentally strong enough. Do you see how much she went through up till age 24? How is that not mentally tough enough? So people like Piers Morgan, who can sit on stage and be a white male and talk about all the jobs that he failed miserably at and then got new ones, really has some type of luxury to say these kind of things to a young 24-year-old black woman who went through all the things as well that black women went through last year, including the death of George Floyd, including struggling through mental health issues with Black Lives Matter. So really, I don't want to hear the chorus. I think if anything, there should be a chorus of praising her for protecting her mental health and not going through a breakdown just for the sake of winning.
Very true. And may I also say, she didn't walk off. She stayed. She gave chalk to the players. She was there for them. She applauded them. She was a good teammate. As well as I heard, if you are a gymnast and you know you're not there, you can severely hurt yourself mid-vault. And I think giving up mid-vault, she knew my body's not here.
Yeah, I mean, and we're looking at this just from the Simone Biles perspective, but think about like her coaches and how this is being framed. I mean, if we're doing this story in 2002, Lindsay,
totally different.
I mean, she is front page of the paper, quitter, you know, with exclamation points after it, her coach lambasting her in the paragraphs to follow. And I just think everybody has had to confront their own mental health for the first time ever for most Americans, for most people, because of the pandemic. And they've been to a place where they're like, I don't know how I'm going to pay rent. I don't know how to do my kids' homework. I don't know if I can do this with my partner. And I think everybody is now much more aware of how important mental health is. And we look back at athletes that have, air quotes, pushed through it, and then they come out later and they say, I had a severe drinking problem.
Michael
I had
Phelps,
a drug problem.
there's one.
Michael Phelps was famously, I feel like he was like ground zero for TMZ, getting caught with that, with the bong.
He also was suicidal and very open. He went to University of Michigan, and after the Olympics just said he fell into a deep depression. So I appreciate him speaking out. Well, masks, they're back.
Not excited.
I'm not excited. The CDC is now recommending that fully vaccinated people begin wearing them indoors again in places with high transmission rates. So speaking of which, beginning Friday, Vegas will require masks indoors for everyone. Here's
okay, buddy.
You don't think it's going to happen?
Okay, buddy.
It happened last time, Al. Here's what the CDC director said on GMA.
We know the vast amount of transmission that's happening in this country is among those who are unvaccinated. But we did, over this last several days now, see new science that demonstrated for those who are vaccinated that they could, in fact, transmit if they are one of those rare breakthrough infections. So that's new.
All right, so the new surge is also in cases they're fueling a new outbreak of anger. You one of those? The New York Times reports people are getting really frustrated with the unvaccinated. I would go so far as to say I feel personally that our country is being held hostage by people who think they know more than science. Again, medical exceptions, I understand. But if you think you know more than science, you're holding the rest of us up. And I have anger for that, and that's why I've always pushed for a federal mandate, or federal employees at least to have a mandate. That's why I'm so passionate. What do you think?
I mean, I'm frustrated at, I think, the CDC and the leadership, because constantly we get these updates. I mean, a couple months ago we were saying, everyone take their masks off. It's up to each business. We're seeing different signs up. And it gave this fake wave of hope that we're now seeing, where your mask has to be back on. And now vaccinated people are transmitting at a higher rate than they suggested a couple months ago. And this has been the trend throughout the entire pandemic, where they're releasing information, backpedaling, changing information, updating, using the excuse that we're scientists or working with scientists that are giving us play-by-plays. But why don't you let the public know when you're sure?
Well, don't you think they also think the public isn't playing along fairly? Like, instead of blaming the leadership, they're seeing that we're not following along. They gave us the vaccine. People just ain't taking it.
Well, I mean, and that was the one thing that I remember reading a couple months ago after the vaccine came out. They said if not, everybody's talking about herd immunity, but people were saying that this virus is going to mutate, especially if enough people don't get vaccinated. And that's exactly, because now you're starting to hear about Delta variants.
Gamma,
I've heard of Lambda as well, and that's what viruses do. They mutate. They evolve. That's why they're still around. And there is a frustration there for me, Lindsay and Tori, but like I feel it's almost sadder to say that I don't expect much. No. There's too much.
We didn't even need 100%. We needed 80%.
But what are we going off of? The honor system? Like, this is so stupid. We're telling people just like, okay, please get vaccinated and we'll see what happens. Like, and hoping for the best. That's not how anything works.
That's why I want a federal mandate.
If you told everybody, pay your taxes by choice, be a good person, people would opt out.
Exactly. I completely agree with you. You need 5 shots to get into kindergarten. Where's the confusion here that we all just can't do that? To go to Africa, in certain places, you need a yellow fever
But also
card.
the public needs to be calm and convinced that it's not going to affect people, like you said, with pre-existing conditions, kids, and other people that can still pass it. Even if we get that 80% of adults, kids still can't get it right now. They're running trials on people. People don't feel safe putting their kids in those trials. So, like, we have to come up with a better solution and just let people know when we're sure, which is why I'm frustrated, because we can't force people to do stuff that they're not comfortable with. It's a medical decision for your body and your health.
Or is it a public health emergency decision?
And that's what I'm saying, Lindsay. You're asking the public to be calm. This is a public that got upset about Mr. Potato Head. Like, our whole business model is not to be calm about anything. And there is now half of the country that is on an algorithm that is meant to outrage you over everything. And whether it's a Disney cartoon or a female lead in the X-Men, you are supposed to be upset about it. So the idea of a vaccine, that is a cash cow, because they are always going to have something they're trying to. This is just like what happened to Jewish people in the 1930s. And we're going to see this forever, because not only are we divided, but there are people that are only getting their information from people that get paid to outrage them.
Right.
So they're never going to be like, hey, that's cool, y'all.
That's why I want the mandate.
It'll kill their business model.
That's why I want the mandate. I just will say, if you don't believe in science, it doesn't matter. Science will happen whether you believe it or not. Coming up on TV.
Magic.
Yeah, magic is real, right?
There we go.
Okay. A woman born into the family on the run, how she went from international fugitive to fashion model, and an ugly baby trend. Say what? Yeah, we'll explain why parents are poking fun at the way their kids look.
Closed captioning provided by
Well, hi there, DBL Nation. It's Kelly Schubert with the DBL Digital Team. Happy Hump Day. Let's go to the desk and see what our hosts are doing. Hi, guys. How's it going today? Al, that's a fancy watch, and it matches with your outfit.
And you've been having
I really like
I've been
it.
noticing. I haven't been saying much, but he's been
But
having
he's been matching it with his outfits.
Yeah, he's been matching his outfit.
I like it.
I just, I feel like a young Luke Skywalker under Kiri. And the best thing about Kiri is she's sarcastic like me, so I put something together and she'd be like, you look like an unemployed magician. And I'd be like, okay, don't put purple with that.
Does she tell you to wear which watch with which outfit, or no?
No.
You decide that.
Yes, that's my thing. Every morning is I go through my watches.
Has she ever went off on you like that watch? You could have picked a different watch?
No, it's usually the shirt tie combo. The shirt, it took me a while to figure out the pocket squares. This one was easy. But like pocket squares, you can look a little bit magician-y if you don't.
Got it.
Yeah.
Get the fold right.
Tori,
Get it just sitting in there.
Tori, what's going on over here with you?
Well, I just want to let everyone know I'm turning 40 in January, and all of a sudden,
you're in your head. I know it's not real. No, this is not real.
Bags.
Did you go to sleep late
eyes?
last night?
Not really, but I'm noticing the eyes are getting real. They show, and then look at this, the crappy neck.
know.
I promise, I think you're just seeing things. DBL Nation, let us know what you think.
Am I in my head?
Yeah, and I don't think touching it, when you put your fingers on it, you're taking your makeup off of it. And
Is this not attractive?
I think you should stop that.
And also, you ever put those things on that like sit right here, those gel
Yes.
pads?
Should I do that?
They
Yes.
actually work.
Okay.
The Thomas Peter Roth ones are my favorite.
I've only done them once. I got my makeup done, and they put them there before they started, and I was like, whoa,
And if you
buddy.
keep them in the fridge, they're even better because it just gives you that little plump. I know Ginger Z, GMA meteorologist, she puts them on every morning before hair and makeup.
Okay, so that's where I need to go now.
I'll send you them.
I'm that person now.
Yes.
I'm a football
But
player.
no, those are good though.
They really
are,
do work,
yeah.
and they feel so cold if you keep them in the
That's what
fridge.
we're talking about.
Everything, like when I see the
'Cause I have-
retinol and all those Maybelline commercials, I'm like, does this work?
They just plump
Well,
it
don't
up
have-
for the
you
day.
go too far. I don't
so
know
it's
about
really
all
just
that.
plumping your under eye up for the day. DBL Nation, there's your beauty tip. Bye.
Welcome back to DBL. There's this new trend on social media. I don't know if you've seen it. Moms and dads are posting unflattering photos or videos of their babies. So I love this. Check out this mom's post of her baby that went viral. Oh God, she wrote about it in the comments saying, when you hop on the ugly newborn trend and wake up to 10 million views, 2 million likes, and 20,000 shares on TikTok. She also posted a glow up photo of her baby. So what do you see or what do you say when you have and see an ugly baby? What do you think of moms or dads posting these unflattering photos and essentially trolling their own kids? I gotta be honest, I don't find babies attractive. Are you looking forward to
So
Well, at least now she knows how you feel.
I'm not gonna show you the baby. No, before I got pregnant, I've always seen people's babies and they'd be like, oh my God, so cute. And they'll be like, looks just like the dad. And I'm like, looks like a mush face. I didn't get it. So I'm gonna really try to be mindful as I look at my baby and say, oh my God, the cutest baby in the world, that to everybody, she is not going to be. And then she's gonna grow up and just be a nice, pretty little girl. And they look like just a mush of things, I think, in the beginning. I don't see the dad, I don't see the mom.
You don't see anything.
Like a smushed, chubby little
like a
cute
Picasso.
thing. Yes.
What happens with your three? Did you think, oh my God, they look like me? Or are you like, oh God?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm sitting over there. I can see our co-host Jeff Schroeder over your shoulder, and I know that we were both, you know, in the when everything went down, the baby was actually born.
The delivery room.
Yes, in the thing.
In the
Sorry,
thing.
I get paid to talk. And you know, honestly, it's a traumatic experience, and it's not a very pleasant looking. There's fluids. There's I mean, it's a traumatic situation
For both
going
of
on.
you.
For everyone going on. And so when the baby comes, it is cute, but it's not like it is in the movies.
It's not Gerber.
I think in the movies they give you like a 4-month-old, because sometimes you're like, that baby's way too big. You know, so like, but I do think Lindsay, God forbid, if she's not the cutest baby, you can get your follower count up. You know, you got a trend.
I can do the TikTok.
That's my question. So if I did have a child and they came out, there's one baby that came out of a C-section like really grumpy. I don't know if you've seen that picture, but I would totally play up the ugly baby. Would you play that up or no?
Oh, good question.
So when do you take that picture? Because Jeff was showing me a video this weekend where he was saying, look at how my face looked when the baby came out.
The baby
So
was
I don't
coming
see
out.
Colin taking a picture in that moment being so frantic and also getting the baby's face and the baby's like, to get that moment out of the C-section is like amazing. That's
You
somebody
need a
who's
birth
calm
photographer,
and
yeah.
collected and a birth photographer.
That's
but
right.
if Colin catches it, then maybe I'll share it.
What if your baby isn't the most attractive? Will you play that up or no?
I really can't answer this question beforehand. It's my first
And
kid. I'm
that's
going to
a
see how I feel. I'm not really sensitive, so I might.
Ugly baby, what else? Okay.
Ugly baby, I love it. Coming up on DBL, the remarkable true story, this is insane, of a woman who was born into a fugitive family. How she finally ended up going out on her own and turning her life around. She is awesome. Stay tuned.
Now that there is a fourth wave of COVID sweeping over the U.S., fueled by the Delta variant, the debate over masks is heating up again. But it turns out your old cloth mask might not cut it. Let's connect the dots. Any way you look at it, the Delta variant is a lot more contagious, with evidence indicating that it can travel from person to person in just seconds and with limited contact. Researchers have found people infected with Delta have 1,000 times higher viral load than people infected with the original coronavirus strain. That has helped it race across the country, and it has public health officials asking even vaccinated people to wear masks again. But we're not talking just any mask. The former head of the FDA, Scott Gottlieb, says we need to be talking about high-quality masks like N95 respirators. Those are the medical-grade masks. They provide more protection than cloth or surgical masks. Cloth masks can be problematic because they don't filter out enough particles, and surgical masks don't fit tight to your face. Now, there is one group that should not be wearing N95s. That's children. They have not been approved for use in kids, and probably more importantly, can be uncomfortable to wear for long periods of time. Experts say it's better to find a mask that kids can wear comfortably to encourage them to use them. And of course, your best protection is a COVID-19 vaccine.
Welcome back to DBL. She spent her childhood following her family of outlaws as they bounce from country to country, hiding from authorities. In today's DBL Spotlight, we chat with Cheryl Diamond.
It was a life on the run, fleeing in the middle of the night, wiping down fingerprints, destroying all evidence of life, only taking what you could carry. It's how Cheryl Diamond and her family lived their life. Cheryl was born into the outlaw life, avoiding Interpol as they hunted her father, a suspected con man who took millions from his clients. By age 9, Cheryl has lived in more than a dozen countries, under 6 different identities. As a child, she enjoys her life of adventure, but in her teen years, things start to unravel. By the age of 21, the isolation by the hands of her father has taken its toll on Cheryl's body. Diagnosed with Crohn's disease, unbearable stress is the trigger. Cheryl tells her father she is abandoning the lie and leaving. Taking her mother with her, the two flee to Europe, and for the first time in a lifetime, they get a chance at normalcy and to stop running.
Cheryl, welcome to DBL. Now, your story should be a movie. Now, there's so many layers, so let's dive into it. First off, you didn't know your real name, your birthplace, or birthday growing up. How did that shape your childhood and your identity?
I think it definitely put me in a position where I would either lose my sense of self or I would have to look very deep inside myself and figure it out young.
Wow.
And luckily, that's what I tried to do. But being born into a family of fugitives isn't easy.
Your family is constantly on the move, on the run, evading authorities. But is there a story, like a scary getaway story, that stands out amongst all of them?
It's when we were hurtling down the Himalayas in a rental car in India and the brakes failed. And on one side there was just a sheer drop into a precipice, and on the other was this wall of very dark, forbidding rock. And I won't give it away, but somehow we survived it. And then by the time we got to the bottom of the mountain, it was midnight and we were stopped by armed soldiers with guns for trying to cross the border. So that's just the beginning.
Wow. Now, your family had a set of rules that they lived by. So can you tell us, what were they?
It was called our Unbreakable Outlaw Code, and it was to never trust outsiders and always be loyal to your family, and to be a criminal, but be a noble one. And it wasn't until I got older that I realized the most dangerous people weren't the ones chasing us, but they were actually my own family.
Wow.
Well, you know, you hid for over 20 years, and now you're out in the open. There have to be some lessons that translated between the life of staying in the shadows and now being out in the public. What would you say are the lessons that you've brought with you?
For sure, it gave me the ability to feel comfortable in almost any situation, good or bad. And it also gave me a faith in myself that I know how I react under tremendous pressure or in situations where you have to make a split-second decision. And so although the experience of growing up in that way definitely left scars, they're ones that I'm proud of now. And I think that's what makes all the difference, is how you wear it. And it helps to be that resourceful as well.
Now your dad and your sister are still on the loose. So do you feel safe or unsafe knowing that?
I don't feel completely safe, that's for sure. And it was a big question in my mind as I was writing Nowhere Girl, about whether they would find out and do something, because as you see in the book, they're very violent and unpredictable people. But I made the decision early on that this was something I had to write. It wasn't even really an option for me. If you don't have a voice as a child, I think maybe that's why I became a writer. It's this urge to tell what happened and to bring it out into the light, because it was a very difficult, horrific story at times, but it was also absolutely magical and this adventure unlike anything people have heard. And so I did want to share both sides of the story, the magic and the darkness.
To our DBL Nation, I'm sure you're super captivated, as am I. You can learn more about Cheryl's remarkable story, literally remarkable, by getting her book, Nowhere Girl, a memoir of a fugitive childhood. You can also check out her website, which I'm gonna do. You can follow her on Instagram. Cheryl, I just want to thank you for opening up to us and trusting us, and for joining us today with that beautiful soul of yours that can walk through fire and come out the other side. So beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
The pandemic had a lot of Americans looking for financial relief wherever they could find it, and the government stimulus aimed to get it to them. But we received a handful of emails like this one from viewer Angela asking, does Congress give homeowners a relief program for mortgage payments? And she cites the website lowermybill.com. We found this similar claim boasting a $3,500 benefit for homeowners owing less than $331,000 on their home. So let's verify, is there a Congress-approved homeowner relief program for mortgage payments? For our sources, we talked to Brandy Whitmire, a Dallas-based mortgage loan originator. She looked at the offers and says,
no, it's complete, like, it's clickbait, it's basically.
Tricky advertising. Whitmire says these companies take a few partial truths and combine them into a broad claim that is not really what it appears. Mortgage companies Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are backed by the government, but calling these programs or these advertisements a Congress-approved relief program is misleading.
It's broken down. This ad is broken down to different segments of what could be a refinance opportunity with basically 3 different sectors.
What they want is for you to click that box and fill out a form that may or may not produce some kind of refinance opportunity to save money. But the broad claim of a Congress-approved mortgage relief program, we're going to verify that is false.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's not possible, but it does not mean, no, this is not a everyone gets this. There's a, no, not at all.
If you've been affected financially by the COVID-19 pandemic, the government does offer mortgage forbearance for federally backed or FHA loans on single-family homes.
Welcome back to DBL. Once you hit age 40, I'm coming up in January, it can get harder and harder to lose weight and keep it off. Oh, thanks. We're chatting about it on DBL's Focus on Fitness, presented by QB. So turning 40 is great, and I say that, I really mean that, but your metabolism does slow down. Not so great. So here are a couple ways to help with that. First, create a list of reasons you want to lose weight and figure out exactly what's motivating you. Next, be mindful of those portion sizes while eating. This will easily help cut back on calories. And remember, we're just a work in progress. And remember, you're not in this alone. Clearly, I'm with you here. Staying active is so important, and QB has made it easy, regardless of physical ability or age. Try their underage elliptical at home. Call 1-800-782-2351 or visit QB.com to learn more. I appreciate that.
Since I started.
Oh, go ahead.
No, we were supposed to work out together since I started. Now there's a whole baby in there, but hopefully after the baby comes, we can work out together.
We're doing it. We're going to make it.
You know what I found really helps me is I pre-package my meals to start the week and just have them so they're ready to warm up, just kind of quick. It takes like maybe an hour to just chop all the veggies for the whole week.
You become like Martha Stewart, dude.
No, you know what it is? You don't panic because when you're hungry and you don't want to go home, chop carrots and cook, you're just going to get fast food. But if you know you just have to throw it in the microwave, it really cuts down on bad meals.
Some part of chaos is fun, though, Al. Come on, you can't be this organized. You have the same meal every day.
I can.
He's going to Soul Cycle. I'm like, who is this man?
It's no fun.
DBL's new every day. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Thanks for staying with us. Bye, guys.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Simone Biles drops out of the all-around gymnastics final over mental health concerns. DBL Nation, do you respect her decision? Masks are back as places like Las Vegas will start requiring them indoors. Will a mask mandate return where you live? A woman reveals what it's like living inside the Tower of London. Is it really haunted?
My TV flashed on kind of the old school static that you see in the horror films.
And Tito Jackson will be here live.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2,
Welcome to DBL. It is Wednesday, July 28th. I'm Sam here with my friends Al, Jeff, and Erica. Let's get started. Simone Biles. Wow, everyone's been talking about her. So her chance to take home the gold at the Summer Games is fading. She withdrew herself from the all-around gymnastics competition due to mental health issues. Today, fellow Olympians like Michael Phelps and Dominique Dawes are defending her decision. Take a look.
First, I wanted to make sure she was okay. You know, it's got to be difficult having something like that happen in a competition. You know, we were just talking. I don't know if that's ever happened for me. So, but also, I think on the other side, this is an opportunity for us, all of us, to really learn more about mental health.
She's been labeled as the GOAT. She's been an Olympian before. She's expected to bring home 5+ Olympic medals and also lead the team. There's a lot that's put up on this young girl, but what I respect most about her is she's listening to her inner voice, and she made a decision that was best for her.
But there are some who are calling her out for abandoning her team, including Piers Morgan, who tweeted, quote, Simone Biles calls herself the greatest of all time, but no GOAT would quit on their teammates like that, costing them an Olympic gold medal. Okay, Erica, I should mention too, when I posted something about Simone last night, some people wrote, because I was defending her, some people wrote back saying this is a generational thing. We wouldn't see this with our previous athletes. They would have toughed it out. The athletes today, in their words, are coddled, are entitled. I disagree with that. But what did you think about Piers and what some of the naysayers are saying?
Well, we wouldn't have heard from the athletes in previous generations because we didn't have that type of communication structure in the form of social media, and most things were considered very close to the vest. You know, what do you say about Piers Morgan? At the end of the day, Piers Morgan chimes in from the sunken place in order to project his own quitting spirit onto Simone Biles' mental health issues, a woman who is less than half his age. So I think Piers should probably just take a back seat to this, and it makes me wonder if she stopped returning his calls too.
The sunken place sounds like a bar I used to drink at. I could just see that. I like the dirty bars.
I should say really quickly, the quitting spirit you're referring to is Piers Morgan walked off the set of his work. Yes.
Right.
Okay.
He could dish it, but he just couldn't take it.
All right. Jeff, what are you thinking?
First of all, we shouldn't even put Piers Morgan in this conversation, right? As soon as you take Piers Morgan and give a quote to the other side, it diminishes the other side's argument. We shouldn't even be showing that. We should show someone of importance, maybe a former athlete, maybe a Michael Jordan, hear what he has to say. I remember growing up as a kid and respecting Michael Jordan because he put it all out there. He laid it on the line. Remember when he was sick and he had that last shot and Scottie Pippen had to carry him off the court? Famous, iconic shot. This is just a sign of the times. We say it's generational. It's very true. Because back in the day, people were respected for that. Now it's more respected, and we have to get ready for this. As an older generation, I have to get ready for my kids. Me as a father, coming through from, I guess, that old school mentality of you got to tough it out, you got to do this. And society saying, no, you don't. It's your mental health that you need to take care of. So this is going to be something I have to deal with as a parent moving forward, because I think Simone Biles has set the mark saying, hey, why aren't you coming to work today? Well, I just don't feel like it because I'm taking a mental health day. This is going to be the future. She set a bar going forward here.
Well, you know, Jeff, you're calling it a generational thing. And it really is when you think about it. But like, let's move sports. You remember there was he was up and coming, a pretty famous linebacker for the 49ers. His name was Chris Borland. And he retired super early from the NFL, maybe his second year. He had just signed a big contract and he retired in free agency, in training camp, because he was worried that he was already having effects from concussions. I think the difference between this generation, the Simone Biles generation, even from the Michael Phelps generation, is they see 20 years into the future. What happens when you don't take care of your mental health, when you don't take care of your personal well-being? And making this personal really quickly, as a comic, I saw some of the older comics that were the height of heights, line wrapped around the corner to come see them, but they were drinking a lot, they were not getting a lot of sleep, they were not the best family men, and I see what happened to them and to their careers. And I think a lot of younger comics now, you talk to them and they're talking about their algorithms and they're talking about, you know, the SEOs and just businessmen and women. So the generations do change as they look and see the mistakes and the successes of the generations before them.
I do too think we can't group the Simone Biles with, let's say, someone that that's like, I don't want to come to work today, I need a mental health day, which could totally
That's where the trickle-down effect will take us.
Well, it could be legitimate for that one individual. I think we need to have discernment to look at each individual case. There's always going to be outliers that are going to take advantage of the mental health narrative. However, most of the people, I would only imagine, are doing it because they really, truly are suffering in that moment. If Simone Biles stuck it out, and then she would have either A, in her mind, cost her team any medal, they got a silver, or what if she would have broken her ankle? Then for the rest of her career, she can perhaps no longer compete. For the rest of her life, she's dealing with a debilitating injury. Someone with that mindset that got to the place where she did, in my opinion, has one of the most strongest mindsets in the world. You do not get to the point of a Simone Biles with a weak mindset. So I think she has a very strong mindset. She knew in that moment she was either going to fall and cause herself catastrophic injury. That's what I think. Or she thought, I'm going to completely take my team off the podium. So in my opinion, what she did was not only selfless, it was the right decision as an athlete and as a teammate. That's my own opinion. But it's a good conversation. I know you guys are having it, and it's polarizing. Of course it is. Everything is polarizing today, including masks.
That's why we have a show.
Yes. Masks are making a comeback. The CDC is now recommending that fully vaccinated people begin wearing them indoors again in places with high transmission rates. Speaking of which, beginning Friday, Las Vegas will require masks indoors for everyone. Here's what the CDC director said about it on GMA.
We know the vast amount of transmission that's happening in this country is among those who are unvaccinated. But we did, over this last several days now, see new science that demonstrated for those who are vaccinated that they could, in fact, transmit if they are one of those rare breakthrough infections. So that's new.
Now, this new surge in cases is also fueling a new outbreak of anger. The New York Times reports people are getting frustrated with the unvaccinated. I should also clarify, too, that the CDC is not requiring, other than Las Vegas, obviously every state, town is going to take their own measures. But the CDC is recommending if you're fully vaccinated, amongst fully vaccinated people, you can still unmask. If you're in a public place with other unvaccinated people, it's probably a good idea to err on the safe side and wear a mask. So I just want to clarify that. What do you think about this new epidemic of people being angry with the unvaccinated?
I think they have a right to be angry, just like the people that want to remain unvaccinated for whatever reason have their right to do that, as long as there's no federal mandate in place. But, you know, we have a right to be frustrated as grown folks up here. But we're going to start talking to people that are in a place in their life where they've missed homecoming. They've missed prom, and they missed their freshman year of college. They missed their wedding for the second straight year. Their mom or father hasn't met their kid yet, and the kid's 2.5. So those people really have a reason to be frustrated. We lived our lives. I'm playing with house money at this point, so I get it.
Well, damn. I mean, but it's true. I mean, it really is true. I think also we have this, so many people are playing this game because, you know, there's this honor system in place. Like, no one's checking to see if, you know, you have proof of vaccination. And a lot of people aren't being very forthcoming with their vaccination status. So people have made up vaccination cards. So until this stops being a game to people, then we're just here. And that's just what it is.
Yeah.
I know we have 10 seconds. So Jeff wanted, well, we have 10 seconds, so I understand why you couldn't elaborate. But coming up on DBL, a college student who lives in the Tower of London finds out how she ended up calling, or find out how she ended up calling the legendary landmark her home. And an ugly baby photo trend? What? We'll explain why parents are poking fun at the way their own kids look.
Closed captioning provided by...
Hi, DBL Nation. It's Kelly Schubert with the DBL digital team. We ran out of time there, so let's continue the conversation. Jeff, what were you thinking about that
continue.
Story? I know, I did. I was hoping you guys wouldn't notice. I just kept going with it.
I kind of want to go back to the other conversation because Al mentioned comedians and stuff, and I had in the back of my mind at some point to bring up Chappelle. Because when he left,
you're right.
He left
what a
for...
great point.
Yeah, I would have liked to continue on that story. Yeah. But because, to be honest with you, the vaccines, the mask, I'm done fighting with people. People are going to do what they have to do. If I tell you to do one thing or don't do one thing, you're not going to listen to me anyway. You're going to do what you want to do. So I'm kind of over that conversation. But going back to the mental health thing, Dave Chappelle left. Talk about the GOAT. He is maybe the greatest of all time in stand-up comedian.
Without a doubt.
When he left, he was ridiculed. People called him insane. People called him mental. People said he went to go hide somewhere and smoke weed. Yep. That was not the case at all. He left because of the networks. He left because he didn't want to be told what to do. He left because of the game surrounding him. He came back stronger than ever. And now Simone, on this hand, is getting applauded for leaving.
Not always.
I think if Tom Brady left at halftime of the game, he'd be ridiculed. So it's just an interesting change of tactics, or what, maybe that's not the right word. A dynamic is what I should say, of how we maybe it's not generational, maybe it's gender specific.
Her too, though. A lot of people are.
I don't believe.
I know, but nobody
I
up here.
don't think that she's being applauded. I think she's being supported because we also have to consider that Simone is 24 years old. She's been in competition for a very long time. She also became the face of a national sex abuse scandal, international sex abuse scandal. There's a lot going on there. So the idea that people want to just boil it down to a couple days of competition is super problematic because, as Sam mentioned earlier, the idea that if her head isn't in it for whatever reason, that she could actually hurt herself permanently is something that a lot of people have never put their bodies in a position to be that vulnerable. So I think the conversation is bigger than just a few days at the Olympics.
She should be president.
Welcome back to DBL. There is a new trend on social media, moms posting unflattering photos or video of their babies. Check out this mom's post of her baby that went viral. She wrote about it in the comments saying, quote, when you hop on the ugly newborn trend and wake up to 10 million views, 2 million likes, and 20,000 shares on TikTok. She also posted a glow-up photo of her baby. So what do you do when you see an ugly baby, and what do you think of moms posting these unflattering photos and essentially trolling their own kids? Listen, when your baby's born, they're not the cutest. I'll just be honest. Like, it took a while. Like, I immediately loved my children, but they have to like go through they're all squished. They almost look like aliens. I think it's okay to call it what it is. There's very few perfect cherub-looking babies, right? They're swollen, they're blue.
I agree. I mean, I saw this trend and I immediately thought of my Aunt Wilhelmina, who's watching in Cleveland right now. I'm not going to say the basketball player she was talking about, but she said, "Ooh, insert name here. Got a face only a mother could love."
Oh my gosh!
I just remember her because like that's old school. They'll just be like, "Oh, that baby ain't cute, but that's all right," you know. And babies grow and look different. But I think it's cute. I think it's harmless. The baby isn't gonna. It's not gonna affect the baby.
No, they're not. I mean, I don't know why we have this trend in society to be like, oh my God, if you say a baby's not good looking, you're the devil. They're not. I had two, and they're not good looking. They come out, you're like, nurse, help me out, man, because something's in his eyes. He's choking. There's all this other stuff going on. Not to be too graphic. Clean him up a little bit. When I take him home and he's all dried off, you're a cute little baby. But when you come out, it's not so great.
I've never met an ugly baby.
See, there you go. There's the answer.
I've never seen an ugly baby.
Have you seen it when it was
born? Yes, I've seen. I have nieces and nephews. I have not seen an ugly. I'm telling you right now.
Jeff, look at Erica's jeans.
No, stop.
That's true. That's true.
Stop.
I'm going to do a show tomorrow. I'm going to do a show tomorrow that I'm going to agree with everything social media tells me to. I'm going to be like,
if you say that you've never seen an ugly baby, though, then
I'm going to say puppies are awesome. I agree. with everything
you think I'm agreeing with what social media says?
No, I'm just saying
today's
society.
not the day, Jeff.
I'm just saying
today's not the day, because I am feeling very disagreeable. We could go there, but I'm telling you the truth.
Go there.
I've never seen an ugly baby.
I believe it with Erica's jeans, but I'll tell you, for my two babies, when they first came out, I was like, oh. But then give it a couple weeks, they depuff, the acne clears up, all that, and it all works itself
like
out.
You're talking about a drunken college student. Like it's no, I think if you say if you have to see an ugly baby because that's how you judge what a cute baby is.
But you could only call your own. You could only call your own babies ugly.
Amen.
You can't call someone else's baby ugly.
Well,
That's
there you go.
society
Okay,
rules.
so now you're on my side because I haven't had a baby, so therefore I can't call a baby ugly. Now, check that.
We're going to leave it on that.
I might leave a little early today because I feel the wrath coming, and this isn't even a good story.
I didn't even come for you. I was over here just sitting here minding my own business.
What do
and
we
you
got coming up
well, why
next?
do I have to say? Or maybe I'll say what society wants me to say, as if I'm so agreeable with society. Yeah, I'm sitting in this chair every day agreeable with society. That's what everybody says to me on social media. Erica, I love how you agree with everything we say.
Coming up on DBL.
Remain silent, Jeff.
How did
I have a
this-
wife. I know what's up.
How did this woman end up living in the Tower of London? And did she really see ghosts there? She tells us the scary situations she's ended up in next.
Now that there is a fourth wave of COVID sweeping over the U.S., fueled by the Delta variant, the debate over masks is heating up again. But it turns out your old cloth mask might not cut it. Let's connect the dots. Any way you look at it, the Delta variant is a lot more contagious, with evidence indicating that it can travel from person to person in just seconds and with limited contact. Researchers have found people infected with Delta have 1,000 times higher viral load than people infected with the original coronavirus strain. That has helped it race across the country, and it has public health officials asking even vaccinated people to wear masks again. But we're not talking just any mask. The former head of the FDA, Scott Gottlieb, says we need to be talking about high-quality masks like N95 respirators. Those are the medical-grade masks. They provide more protection than cloth or surgical masks. Cloth masks can be problematic because they don't filter out enough particles, and surgical masks don't fit tight to your face. Now, there is one group that should not be wearing N95s. That's children. They have not been approved for use in kids, and probably more importantly, can be uncomfortable to wear for long periods of time. Experts say it's better to find a mask that kids can wear comfortably to encourage them to use them. And of course, your best protection is a COVID-19 vaccine.
Welcome back to DBL. In some ways, 21-year-old Megan Clawson is living the life of a medieval princess. She and her dad live in the historic Tower of London. We chatted with her about her life in a castle, but it's not as glamorous as you may think. Have a look. Megan Clawson is bringing some unusual British history to life. She's been living in the Tower of London for a year with her dad, who is a beef eater or tower guard. The 13th century fortress was once a castle, a prison, and is now home to the famous crown jewels. It's also notorious for the beheading of Anne Boleyn, King Henry VIII's second wife. But Megan likes to focus on some of the lesser known facts of the tower's history.
The tale that I am about to tell is considered one of the goriest in the history of the Tower of London.
Her videos on TikTok have earned her 30,000 followers who love seeing what her life living in a tourist attraction is really like.
It's a real privilege to live inside the Tower of London until you realise that you're also part of the attraction and you have a lovely audience for most of the day.
Megan, welcome to DBL. So this is fascinating. My husband and I visited the Tower of London. It was one of our most memorable experiences. I can't believe that you live there. So how much of the tower's history did you know before you actually moved in with your dad, who's a guard there?
I thought when he said, oh, I'll be living in the Tower of London, I thought he meant he was going to be living in Tower Bridge. Really had no clue what I was letting myself in for, really.
The tower is heavily guarded, and that's kind of a question I have. So, like, what restrictions are there for you? Like, what can and can you not do?
there's always a beefeater on guard. So if you want to leave after a certain time, you have to sign out and things like that. And to be let in, again, you need to have told somebody beforehand. So everybody knows where you are at what time and what you're wearing and everything. So
No
it's,
sneaking out.
I was going to say, so let's keep it 100. That's what we do on this show. How does this affect your dating life? Because I know it's got to be hard to tell people like, hey, you need to sign in with this guard.
You date a beefeater.
That's right.
I am actually going out with the Queen's Guard, so I feel like the most British person in the world. So my dad is a beefeater, I live in the Tower of London, and my boyfriend is a Queen's Guard.
Wow, this doesn't even sound real.
I know.
So the Tower was a prison at one point and the site of a few beheadings.
Yep.
So speaking of not real, is it haunted, and have you ever experienced a run-in with a Tower ghost?
It does get a little bit hard when I'm here home alone, and it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, had a couple of drinks, and I was about to go to bed, and my TV flashed on kind of the old school static that you see in the horror films, with like a silhouette in front of it. So it's like it had just kind of head and shoulders, and then as quick as it flashed on, it flashed back off again, and I was like, okay, this is where I switch my phone off, roll over, and go to sleep. It was,
I would have ran out of there. Even if like the beefeater had to catch up with me, at least like a human was catching up with me, I could not imagine.
Well, she knows the rule though. Like if you go to sleep, ghosts can't get you.
Now, I had no idea that there was also an exclusive pub in the Tower. I'm so mad I didn't get to visit it. Apparently, many celebrities go there. Leonardo DiCaprio has had a pint there. Is that true? Have you ever spotted stars?
Yeah, when you're famous, you know about it.
Yeah, wow. Have you ever heard about this? And maybe can I use you as a contact next time I'm there?
Well, yeah, even the celebrities have to know a beefeater personally to be able to be invited in. So even Leo had to have a beefeater invite him in. I've never met a celebrity in the bar myself, but my dad does the whole typical dad thing where he's so unaffected by fame and celebrities that he'll just come in after having 1 or 2 pints down there, and he'll be chatting away to me about typical dad things I'm like, okay, fair enough, get to the point. And then about 20 minutes later, he'll go, oh yeah, Tom Hardy was in the Tower while I was down in the pub. And I was like, why didn't you ring me up? Just so yeah, I haven't met any myself. But
your dad hogs them all.
And she totally dismissed your invitation.
I know. You didn't say anything about me using you as a contact to get into the secret pub.
That was on purpose.
She laughed it off again.
Feel free if you're not
getting it.
Megan, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us here on DBL. You can follow all of Megan's adventures on TikTok at Megan AMBXR and learn a thing or two about British history. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
The pandemic had a lot of Americans looking for financial relief wherever they could find it, and the government stimulus aimed to get it to them. But we received a handful of emails like this one from viewer Angela asking, does Congress give homeowners a relief program for mortgage payments? And she cites the website lowermybill.com. We found this similar claim boasting a $3,500 benefit for homeowners owing less than $331,000 on their home. So let's verify. Is there a Congress-approved homeowner relief program for mortgage payments? For our sources, we talked to Brandy Whitmire, a Dallas-based mortgage loan originator. She looked at the offers and says,
no, it's complete, like it's clickbait, is basically.
Tricky advertising. Whitmire says these companies take a few partial truths and combine them into a broad claim that is not really what it appears. Mortgage companies Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are backed by the government, but calling these programs or these advertisements a Congress-approved relief program is misleading.
It's broken down. This ad is broken down to different segments of what could be a refinance opportunity with basically 3 different sectors.
What they want is for you to click that box and fill out a form that may or may not produce some kind of refinance opportunity to save money. But the broad claim of a Congress-approved mortgage relief program, we're going to verify that is false.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's not possible, but It does not mean, no, this is not a everyone gets this. No, not at all.
If you've been affected financially by the COVID-19 pandemic, the government does offer mortgage forbearance for federally backed or FHA loans on single-family homes.
Welcome back to DBL. I have a little treat for you. So speaking of when you first have a baby, it's a lot to take in. Here's a really good photo of Jeff when he saw his second baby being born.
We've showed the actual photo on this show before.
But not everybody watches every day. So this could be a new little
But that
treat.
takes it totally out of,
Yeah,
you need to see the whole thing.
But I think we were worried about.
Oh, we can't show the whole thing?
Yeah.
We have before.
Oh, just
I think we put a little smiley face over the baby, but
and you were just
that was
shocked
real.
that it came out, not that it was good looking or.
I'm never calling a baby bad looking again.
If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show on Facebook or YouTube. Chat with other viewers, leave your comments, and be a part of our DBL Nation. But if you're sticking around, here's what's coming up. A look inside Kanye West's new living situation. Why is he staying at an Atlanta stadium? Plus, Paris Hilton puts pregnancy rumors to rest. What she said to set the record straight.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Al, Jeff, and Erica. Let's get started. So Paris Hilton is shooting down rumors that she's having, oh, I forgot I was a camera, just putting my tea away, that she's shooting down rumors that she's having a baby. Yesterday, Page 6 reported that Paris was pregnant with her first child, but then Paris went on her podcast to set the record straight. Take a listen.
But yes, I am pregnant with triplets. So thank you guys for the congratulations. I really appreciate it, and I am just so excited for motherhood. Actually, I'm just kidding. I am not pregnant. Not yet. I am waiting till after the wedding.
I love how monotone she is, and she's like that in real life too. But was this all a ploy to promote her new Netflix cooking show? The preview for Cooking with Paris also dropped on Tuesday, coincidentally, featuring Kim Kardashian and other friends. Have a look.
Wait. I spoke too soon.
Ew. Welcome to my kitchen. I love cooking.
How are you getting your feathers and everything?
I'm a natural. You guys watching at home, we did this wrong, so do it the opposite way for this part.
What do you think, Erica? Do you think this was a publicity stunt the whole time in order to get people to look at her new cooking show?
Well, yes, I think that, Paris Hilton has been the queen of publicity stunts since the beginning. But I'm here for Kathy Hilton because she is absolutely killing it on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Kathy Hilton holds the key to the whole empire because watching her is like, oh, I understand now. I get it.
But, and also, even if it is a publicity stunt, you have to do something to get eyeballs on you. I mean, we are in such a place in entertainment where everything is fractured. You got to have something, some hashtag, am I pregnant, is Paris, just to kind of direct attention towards you.
That comes with a lot of flack, though. We saw it with Justin Bieber. The people out there that are struggling with infertility don't want to see people use pregnancy as a ploy to get eyeballs to whatever project they're trying to pitch.
I'm going to throw it to Erica real quick. What do you say about fame?
Fame or shame, it's all the same game. But I will say to that point, though, Sam, that it was an interesting choice if this was intentional, because Paris is also 40 years old.
And has been struggling with infertility. I believe she's going to be doing IVF.
Right. So I wouldn't play like that, being in that same position at 40.
Can we talk about the cooking show and how disrespectful it is to chefs? No, seriously, though. I love the Food Network. I love cooking shows. This is a disaster. It's The Simple Life 20 years ago recreated in the kitchen.
That's the point. That's her whole point. Remember, she did this first of all, we don't know if this is a publicity stunt. The producers are reminding me. You're right. We're just speculating. But first, she had this on YouTube about 1.5 years ago. Remember when everyone was like, wait, what? Paris has a cooking show? So she took that YouTube show, sold it to Netflix. So good for her. I mean, it's not like out of nowhere she had this cooking show. But you're right. The whole point is she doesn't know how to cook. So
I know, but
it's more interviews. She has all these different celebrities on. They have fun. They laugh, and it's getting
like
to know the celebrity.
Red table talk in the kitchen.
No, not at all. They're cooking hamburgers on the.
Definitely not red table talk in the kitchen.
They're going to get into conversations about life.
Yeah, I would think that they're trying to have like a casual celebrity interview under the guise of a cooking show.
That's not what red table talk is.
Red table talk's way more sophisticated.
Dude, red table talk goes there. Thank you. It is a full-hour deep dive, and the whole point of the red table was to give women of color, women that are marginalized in the media, space to hold space.
You walked into it, buddy.
I sure did. Maybe Andy Cohen's show in the kitchen?
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
1 for 2, I'll take it. That's a good batting average.
And they were just letting you pass.
And speaking of Kim Kardashian, her ex Kanye West is living in an Atlanta stadium. Did you know that? Kanye was supposed to drop his album Donda last Friday, but it's nowhere to be found because it's not done yet. Kanye is apparently still working on the album at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, the same place where he actually held that listening party last week. And he's also living there. He posted a shot of his, there it is. Wow, those are his living quarters, you guys. He posted that on Instagram, showing a twin bed, flat screen TV, a closet, and not much else. Their house was like that, though, too. Just like in a bigger, remember how, like, desolate and like sparse, whatever that word.
It didn't look like that.
It was, Erica, there's no furniture in their house. Are you kidding me?
But that was chic. This is locker room. I mean, it's okay.
But
it's all right.
You got to go back to the nitty gritty to do the training. Like when a champion like loses and they're like, I'm going back to the why to train, like where it all started.
Well, me and Erica were talking about this earlier, and you had a great point. I didn't even think about it.
I liken it to method acting. Like, this is where the performances, this is where the connections, everything happens in stadiums like this. But I also think it's an interesting choice for how he's choosing to live, because he's clearly tapping back into his roots. I have a friend on Instagram, and all of a sudden he's a rapper from Chicago, like, a part of the culture. And all of a sudden he started posting these things about working with Kanye very cryptically. So I think that there's going to be a very deep-seated Chicago hometown connection, all about Dr. Donda. Excuse me?
Why is he in Atlanta then?
He just had the listening party there on Friday.
That is a good point.
So he must just stay there.
But he's not the first artist to do it. Tupac was like that. When Tupac finally made all his money from his album, he didn't leave his neighborhood. Even like when he had like astronomical amounts of money, he moved 3 doors down from my husband, who did not live in the nicest neighborhood. So like certain people like to stay with the culture, keep that artistic integrity, and it fuels their creativity.
Tupac died when he was 24. Kanye's like 40-something.
Okay, but still, Tupac had millions of dollars to play with. He could have easily gone to Bel Air and had a huge mansion. He decided not to. I thought that was pretty admirable of him.
I don't know about admirable, but yeah, I mean.
Why? He knew what fueled his creativity. You don't think so?
Yeah, but there's this is another conversation. There's a lot of danger that can come with that too.
Oh, true.
Like keeping that kind of money around people that don't have it can sometimes work out poorly.
Yep, that's a good point. Okay, so this is a really interesting story, because I feel like you guys have been talking about this story since I sat down, or at least like the concept of it.
The homie group chat thread last night.
All right, well, let's dive into it. Kelly Clarkson has been ordered to pay up in her ongoing divorce battle. A judge ruled that Kelly has to pay her ex, Brandon Blackstock, almost $200,000 a month. That's $150,000 for spousal support, $45,000 a month for child support. She also has to shell out more than $1 million for her ex's attorney fees and pay any costs related to the divorce. According to court records, Kelly makes around $1.5 million a month. What do you think about this, Jeff?
He's accustomed to his lifestyle, and he deserves the money.
Ooh, Erica rolled her eyes. Go, Erica. Go, Erica.
I was waiting for this.
Wasn't his daddy the owner of the company that he was a manager for?
Yes.
Still is, and he's suing Kelly Clarkson for commissions not paid.
Yeah, he managed her career.
And he's also been very nasty from the beginning. He was speaking out, and she wasn't speaking out. So I'm sure that there's a lifestyle he's been accustomed to. Daddy gave it to him, and now she has to continue to pay for it.
And the courts gave it to him too, Erica, and that's who we cannot continue to like let this ride. I don't think that the courts are there to destroy people. I don't know too many people on this planet that can constantly, because we say, oh, she makes $1.5 million a month. Now she does.
Well,
she's in entertainment. Right. That changes very quickly.
Isn't this a double standard, though? Because when it's the flip side, when we're talking about, let's say, a male artist and the mom or the wife, and I know traditionally speaking, it might be the wife that's managing the household, taking care of the kids. I know that that's traditionally speaking, but perhaps that's not their living situation. So everyone is defending Kelly Clarkson in this situation. I'm not saying who I'm defending, but if the roles were reversed, it would be different. Why the double standard?
I think that in this particular situation, you have someone who isn't living up to the expectation of when they came into the marriage. In a lot of these situations, Dr. Dre was ordered to pay his ex-wife $300,000 a month. That's only $100,000 more, and they were married for 25 years. These folks were married for like 2 hot seconds. I know it's 7 years, but that's 2 hot seconds. I mean, and the idea that he was able to have this lifestyle before and just chooses to do something else, like what if everyone just chose to, like, I know that you're living to the greatest of your potential, but I'm just gonna sit back and ride this out, and that wasn't a part of the initial agreement?
But we're also looking at the number without looking at the formula. So like if she was making $2,000 a month, they're still gonna take about 13%, whatever that formula is, and give it for a spousal support support or child support. Because she's making astronomically a lot of money, $1.5 million a month, that's insane.
But you could argue that $2,000 would be more hurtful to that person. If you're making $2,000 a month, you're kind of just getting by. So if somebody takes 13% of that, you're going to feel that a lot more.
You got to argue with the court system because they have their formula. It doesn't matter if you're making $30 million a month or $2,000 a month. They're still going to take that same percentage. It seems like these rules were made at a time where you know, they were like no function. Like, he's a young man that has the rest of his life. Like, this functional adult gets $200,000 a year, a month for nothing. What if he was taking care of their kids the whole time? I don't know that. I'm just playing devil's advocate. Because a lot of times, if the woman
he can do it now, Sam. He can get him a new caddy every month, $45,000.
But traditionally speaking, if the woman's taking care of the kids for 30 years, not 3 years, but in Dr. Dre's case, and she wasn't able to get a job or fine-tune her skills, her resume skills, if all of that has gone, then yeah, all of a sudden, what is she supposed to do? She raised her children.
I think that's what the original rules were for people that kind of sacrifice their career. But now we're just talking about young socialites that just want to go to different parties than their exes.
For sure. I agree. No, I agree. I definitely do. All right, coming up on DBL.
You agree?
I do.
All right.
Coming up on DBL, you guys, Tito Jackson is here live. There he is. We can't wait to talk with him. Coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
Libby. Hi, DBL Nation. I hear Erica talking over here, so we're going to continue the conversation. What were you saying, Eve?
Yeah, no, I think the whole conversation about spousal support is an interesting conversation because that is something that people choose or just don't think about to have that conversation when they're entering into a relationship.
Exactly.
Like, my husband and I had that conversation, and it was very clear, although in the beginning there was a point where I did not have a job, and a big part of what I did on a daily basis was to support what he was doing in the interim till I found a job. But the moment that I started working again, and he would always say, like, your job is not to take care of me. Like, your job is to take care of yourself so that we can be a partnership in this agreement. And the same with him when the roles have reversed. So I think that we just need to be a little bit more vocal and communicate with our partners about what the expectation is, so you don't have one person who's catering, which happens a lot, to another person without the understanding that if this doesn't work out, then I need to be compensated for that.
Then,
is this more for him?
DBL Nation, we also want to send our well wishes to actor Bob Odenkirk. He did pass out on set of Better Call Saul yesterday. We have not gotten any updates. Bryan Cranston, actor and co-star in Breaking Bad, is wishing him well. We will keep you updated on that as soon as we get any updates. Let us know your opinions on what Erica was talking about. We'll see you soon.
So we are having some technical difficulties getting Tito. So just know I'm going to be communicating with our producers, and our goal is to get him on here. If not, we'll have to get him on later on in the week. So Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis don't spend a lot of time on bath time for their kids. Speaking on Dax Shepard's Armchair Expert podcast, the couple said that they didn't bathe their two kids that often when they were babies. Have a listen.
When I had children, I also didn't wash them every day. Like, I wasn't the parent that bathed my newborns ever.
Now, here's the thing. If you can see the dirt on them, clean them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's no point.
Oh my gosh, I get it. It's so funny, to each its own. Sophie was the type of baby where we were really structured. Like they call it like the 4 Bs, like bath, boob, books, and bed. And we really, like, she loved her bath time. Miles isn't that into bath time, so we don't bathe Miles every day. A couple days a week, that's the truth.
Is it weird that I'm kind of with this? Babies don't get dirty that much. And do you want to introduce chemical? What are you dunking them in a? They don't get that. What are you rolling in a softball
blowouts? But how
They're
often
in a blanket all day.
How often do you bathe?
Almost every day. I would say.
Every day they bathe.
Babies.
Okay.
What do you mean they don't get dirty?
They don't.
They just produce liquids.
Yeah,
It's just nasty.
you wipe them off.
Yeah, but
it's like new leather seats in a BMW. You don't just scrub it.
Yeah, but you don't. Listen, you don't go to the bathroom in your pants and then go take a shower 4 days later, okay?
That's a great
responsible
point.
parent, you
I
wash
didn't
your
think
kid.
about that.
That's a great point.
We're ready for Tito. Tito Jackson is here. Okay, so
Perfect timing.
Tito, thank you for joining us. I believe we have a soundbite first. Oh, there's Tito. Okay, let's listen to the new album. Wow. Okay, Tito, Jack, we are all like literally rocking out.
Full disclosure, while that was playing, Tito, I just turned to my co-host. I was like, I think I love this.
Yeah.
I mean, that was funky.
Yeah, that is good, Tito.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
What inspired you for this album particularly? Did you have a sound in your mind, or did you actually go into the studio and it just kind of like unraveled?
Well, a little bit of both. You know, I had always planned to do a blues recording my whole career, but now's the time. And it started prior to the pandemic. I would say about a couple of months before. We had a few songs, including George Benson song Rock Me Baby, which is B.B. King's tribute that we did with Claudette King. So given saying all that and loving blues and traveling with the band and all that, one thing happened after another.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I mean, you're no stranger to this business. You've been making music since the 70s with your brothers, but it wasn't until 2016 that you released your first solo album, Tito Time. Now you're about to release your second album, Under Your Spell. Why was it so important for you to focus on being a father first before finally exploring your solo career?
Well, I was a young father. I got married 2 weeks out of high school, and at the age of 20, I had my first son, and the solo records were going around in the Jackson family. Michael had his solos, and Jackie had his, and so did Marlon and Jermaine. And I was the only Jackson in the family, including the girls, that never recorded. So every member in the family had a solo. I wanted to raise my boys. I was young. I was busy as heck with the Jackson 5, and I just couldn't find the time to find a solo career amongst all that. So I concentrated on my boys.
Well, first of all, you're sitting next to, you're with two dads right here that really respect that. You know, and I'm going to go off script for this question because just hearing that music, I have to ask you about this. Where did you go in your heart and your soul to find that sound? Because that sounds like that's been in you for decades. It's such a funky collaboration with the harmonica there, with the guitar, with your voice over it. It's just such a, I feel like I should be outdoors with a drink, just hanging out with friends, talking, listening to that. That's a great sound you got. Where'd that come from?
And you don't drink.
I don't drink, yeah. Hey, sparkling water, yeah.
I think that all basically came from the inspiration of the movement of today with all the situations we have with not showing love to each other, I should say, with the Capitol situation and the George Floyd situation. And it's time for calling for people to remember to love one each other. And I think that flared up all type of energy and lyrics and feelings and what have you.
Wow.
That was inspiring.
yeah.
I will be picking that up.
Amen. Tito Jackson, thank you so much for joining us. DBL Nation, you can hear more of Tito's new album, Under Your Spell, soon. It will be available to stream and download August 6th. Thank you so much, Tito, for taking the time. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
I'm digging that. Thank you, brother.
Right
Be back soon.
Now that there is a fourth wave of COVID sweeping over the U.S., fueled by the Delta variant, the debate over masks is heating up again. But it turns out your old cloth mask might not cut it. Let's connect the dots. Any way you look at it, the Delta variant is a lot more contagious, with evidence indicating that it can travel from person to person in just seconds and with limited contact. Researchers have found people infected with Delta have 1,000 times higher viral load than people infected with the original coronavirus strain. That has helped it race across the country, and it has public health officials asking even vaccinated people to wear masks again. But we're not talking just any mask. The former head of the FDA, Scott Gottlieb, says we need to be talking about high-quality masks like N95 respirators. Those are the medical-grade masks. They provide more protection than cloth or surgical masks. Cloth masks can be problematic because they don't filter out enough particles, and surgical masks don't fit tight to your face. Now, there is one group that should not be wearing N95s. That's children. They have not been approved for use in kids, and probably more importantly, can be uncomfortable to wear for long periods of time. Experts say it's better to find a mask that kids can wear comfortably to encourage them to use them. And of course, your best protection is a COVID-19 vaccine.
Welcome back to DBL. Once you hit age 40, it can get harder and harder to lose weight and to keep it off. So we're going to chat about it on DBL's Focus on Fitness, presented by QB. Turning 40 is great, but your metabolism slowing down, well, not so great. Here are a couple of the top ways to help with that. First, create a list of reasons you want to lose weight and figure out exactly what is motivating you. Next, be mindful of your portion sizes while eating. This will easily help cut back on calories. We're all a work of progress, right? And just remember, you are not in this alone. So staying active is important, and QB has made it easy regardless of physical ability or age. Try their under-desk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-782-2351 or visit QB.com to learn more.
Yeah.
You like hang pictures, right?
I have, I write down goals and different things like that, you know.
But I thought you also had like a picture of you that you hung on the fridge, or no?
No.
Wow.
Well, of myself?
You did. I thought you said you once hung like a picture of yourself on the fridge.
I think you dreamed that.
Oh, I used to do that before
it was Erica.
competitions.
Okay,
yeah,
thank you.
to
One of my
remind me like
co-hosts.
what I needed to work on for the next competition. I would put it in the pantry.
And it worked for you.
Yeah,
See?
well, I had to be ready. I had already invested a lot of money in that competition.
But I do need more pictures of myself around the house.
Yeah, I'm starting hanging pictures of myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna give them to Al too.
We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
The pandemic had a lot of Americans looking for financial relief wherever they could find it, and the government stimulus aimed to get it to them. But we received a handful of emails like this one from viewer Angela asking, does Congress give homeowners a relief program for mortgage payments? And she cites the website lowermybill.com. We found this similar claim boasting a $3,500 benefit for homeowners owing less than $331,000 on their home. So let's verify. Is there a Congress-approved homeowner relief program for mortgage payments? For our sources, we talked to Brandy Whitmire, a Dallas-based mortgage loan originator. She looked at the offers and says,
No, it's complete, like, it's clickbait, it's basically.
Tricky advertising. Whitmire says these companies take a few partial truths and combine them into a broad claim that is not really what it appears. Mortgage companies Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are backed by the government, but calling these programs or these advertisements a Congress-approved relief program is misleading.
It's broken down. This ad is broken down to different segments of what could be a refinance opportunity with basically 3 different sectors.
What they want is for you to click that box and fill out a form that may or may not produce some kind of refinance opportunity to save money. But the broad claim of a Congress-approved mortgage relief program, we're going to verify that is false.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's not possible, but it does not mean, no, this is not a everyone gets this. There's a, no, not at all.
If you've been affected financially by the COVID-19 pandemic, the government does offer mortgage forbearance for federally backed or FHA loans on single-family homes.
Tomorrow on DBL, a man wrongfully convicted of rape calls for criminal justice reform.
I'm trying to change some of the old, outdated laws.
Don't miss this all-new Freedom Files. And the dog whisperer himself, Cesar Millan, is here.
The only thing I wanted to do is to teach people there is no such a thing as a bad dog.
That's tomorrow on DBL.
Ooh, can't wait for that one. Welcome back to DBL. Erica, we got some comments.
Yes, and it's all about Tito Jackson.
Okay.
Great to see Tito on the show today, says Jamie. And Sean Gillis says, love that song from Tito Jackson and just downloaded the song on iTunes.
Nice. I'm going to download it and listen to it on the way home.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
That's a car ride home song for sure. Sunshine, I'm digging it.
How are you going to dance to it?
The same dance she always does.
No, it doesn't matter what the tune is.
Yeah,
that's the dance.
I do different dancing.
There he goes. Let's see it. They're playing the music.
Oh.
Sam is drunk girl at the jukebox dance. That's all right. I'm here for it.
DBL's new every day. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place.
What we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Simone Biles drops out of the all-around gymnastics final over mental health concerns. DBL Nation, do you respect her decision? Masks are back as places like Las Vegas will start requiring them indoors. Will a mask mandate return where you live? A woman reveals what it's like living inside the Tower of London. Is it really haunted?
My TV flashed on kind of the old school static that you see in the horror films.
And Tito Jackson will be here live.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. It is Wednesday, July 28th. I'm Sam here with my friends Al, Jeff, and Erica. Let's get started. Simone Biles. Wow, everyone's been talking about her. So her chance to take home the gold at the Summer Games is fading. She withdrew herself from the all-around gymnastics competition due to mental health issues. Today, fellow Olympians like Michael Phelps and Dominique Dawes are defending her decision. Take a look.
First, I wanted to make sure she was okay. You know, it's got to be difficult having something like that happen in a competition. You know, we were just talking. I don't know if that's ever happened for me. So, but also, I think on the other side, this is an opportunity for us, all of us, to really learn more about mental health.
She's been labeled as the GOAT. She's been an Olympian before. She's expected to bring home 5+ Olympic medals and also lead the team. There's a lot that's put up on this young girl, but what I respect most about her is she's listening to her inner voice, and she made a decision that was best for her.
But there are some who are calling her out for abandoning her team, including Piers Morgan, who tweeted, quote, Simone Biles calls herself the greatest of all time, but no GOAT would quit on their teammates like that, costing them an Olympic gold medal. Okay, Erica, I should mention too, when I posted something about Simone last night, some people wrote, because I was defending her, some people wrote back saying this is a generational thing. We wouldn't see this with our previous athletes. They would have toughed it out. The athletes today, in their words, are coddled, are entitled. I disagree with that. But what did you think about Piers and what some of the naysayers are saying?
Well, we wouldn't have heard from the athletes in previous generations because we didn't have that type of communication structure in the form of social media, and most things were considered very close to the vest. You know, what do you say about Piers Morgan? At the end of the day, Piers Morgan chimes in from the sunken place in order to project his own quitting spirit onto Simone Biles' mental health issues, a woman who is less than half his age. So I think Piers should probably just take a back seat to this, and it makes me wonder if she stopped returning his calls too.
The sunken place sounds like a bar I used to drink at. I could just see that. Like I like the dirty bars.
I should say really quickly, the quitting spirit you're referring to is Piers Morgan walked off the set of his work. Yes.
Right.
Okay.
He could dish it, but he just couldn't take it.
All right. Jeff, what are you thinking?
First of all, we shouldn't even put Piers Morgan in this conversation, right? As soon as you take Piers Morgan and give a quote to the other side, it diminishes the other side's argument. We shouldn't even be showing that. We should show someone of importance, maybe a former athlete, maybe a Michael Jordan, hear what he has to say. I remember growing up as a kid and respecting Michael Jordan because he put it all out there. He laid it on the line. Remember when he was sick and he had that last shot and Scottie Pippen had to carry him off the court? Famous, iconic shot. This is just a sign of the times. We say it's generational. It's very true. Because back in the day, people were respected for that. Now it's more respected, and we have to get ready for this. As an older generation, I have to get ready for my kids. Me as a father coming through from, I guess, that old school mentality of you got to tough it out, you got to do this, and society saying, no, you don't. It's your mental health that you need to take care of. So this is going to be something I have to deal with as a parent moving forward, because I think Simone Biles has set the mark saying, hey, why aren't you coming to work today? Well, I just don't feel like it because I'm taking a mental health day. This is going to be the future. She set a bar going forward here.
Well, you know, Jeff, you're calling it a generational thing. And it really is when you think about it. But like, let's move sports. You remember there was he was up and coming, a pretty famous linebacker for the 49ers. His name was Chris Borland. And he retired super early from the NFL, maybe his second year. He had just signed a big contract and he retired in free agency, in training camp, because he was worried that he was already having effects from concussions. I think the difference between this generation, the Simone Biles generation, even from the Michael Phelps generation, is they see 20 years into the future. What happens when you don't take care of your mental health, when you don't take care of your personal well-being? And making this personal really quickly, as a comic, I saw some of the older comics that were the height of heights, line wrapped around the corner to come see them, but they were drinking a lot, they were not getting a lot of sleep, they were not the best family men, and I see what happened to them into their careers. And I think a lot of younger comics now, you talk to them and they're talking about their algorithms and they're talking about, you know, SEOs and just businessmen and women. So the generations do change as they look and see the mistakes and the successes of the generations before them.
I do too think we can't group the Simone Biles with, let's say, someone that's like, I don't want to come to work today, I need a mental health day, which could totally
That's where the trickle-down effect will take us.
Well, it could be legitimate for that one individual. I think we need to have discernment to look at each individual case. There's always going to be outliers that are going to take advantage of the mental health narrative. However, most of the people, I would only imagine, are doing it because they really, truly are suffering in that moment. If Simone Biles stuck it out, and then she would have either A, in her mind, cost her team any medal, they got a silver, or what if she would have broken her ankle? Then for the rest of her career, she can perhaps no longer compete. For the rest of her life, she's dealing with a debilitating injury. Someone with that mindset that got to the place where she did, in my opinion, has one of the most strongest mindsets in the world. You do not get to the point of a Simone Biles with a weak mindset. So I think she has a very strong mindset. She knew in that moment she was either going to fall and cause herself catastrophic injury. That's what I think. Or she thought, I'm going to completely take my team off the podium. So in my opinion, what she did was not only selfless, it was the right decision as an athlete and as a teammate. That's my own opinion. But it's a good conversation. I know you guys are having it, and it's polarizing. Of course it is. Everything is polarizing today, including masks.
That's why we have a show.
Yes. Masks are making a comeback. The CDC is now recommending that fully vaccinated people begin wearing them indoors again in places with high transmission rates. Speaking of which, beginning Friday, Las Vegas will require masks indoors for everyone. Here's what the CDC director said about it on GMA.
We know the vast amount of transmission that's happening in this country is among those who are unvaccinated. But we did, over this last several days now, see new science that demonstrated for those who are vaccinated that they could, in fact, transmit if they are one of those rare breakthrough infections. So that's new.
Now, this new surge in cases is also fueling a new outbreak of anger. The New York Times reports people are getting frustrated with the unvaccinated. I should also clarify, too, that the CDC is not requiring, other than Las Vegas, obviously every state, town is going to take their own measures. But the CDC is recommending if you're fully vaccinated, amongst fully vaccinated people, you can still unmask. If you're in a public place with other unvaccinated people, it's probably a good idea to err on the safe side and wear a mask. So I just want to clarify that. What do you think about this new epidemic of people being angry with the unvaccinated?
I think they have a right to be angry, just like the people that want to remain unvaccinated for whatever reason have their right to do that, as long as there's no federal mandate in place. But, you know, we have a right to be frustrated as grown folks up here. But what we're going to start talking to people that are in a place in their life where they've missed homecoming. They've missed prom, and they missed their freshman year of college. They missed their wedding for the second straight year. Their mom or father hasn't met their kid yet, and the kid's 2.5. So those people really have a reason to be frustrated. We lived our lives. I'm playing with house money at this point, so I get it.
Well, damn. I mean, but it's true. I mean, it really is true. I think also we have this. So many people are playing this game because, you know, there's this honor system in place. Like, no one's checking to see if, you know, you have proof of vaccination. And a lot of people aren't being very forthcoming with their vaccination status. So people have made up vaccination cards. So until this stops being a game to people, then we're just here. And that's just what it is.
Yeah.
I know we have 10 seconds. So Jeff wanted, well, we have 10 seconds, so I understand why you couldn't elaborate. But coming up on DBL, a college student who lives in the Tower of London finds out how she ended up calling, or find out how she ended up calling the legendary landmark her home. And an ugly baby photo trend? What? We'll explain why parents are poking fun at the way their own kids look.
Closed captioning provided by...
Hi, DBL Nation. It's Kelly Schubert with the DBL digital team. We ran out of time there, so let's continue the conversation. Jeff, what were you thinking about that
continue.
Story? I know, I did. I was hoping you guys wouldn't notice. I just kept going with it.
I kind of want to go back to the other conversation because Al
whatever you
mentioned
guys wanna talk about.
comedians and stuff, and I had in the back of my mind at some point to bring up Chappelle because when he left, he left
What a
for
great point.
Yeah, I would have liked to continue on that story.
Yeah.
But because, to be honest with you, the vaccines, the mask, I'm done fighting with people. People are going to do what they have to do. If I tell you to do one thing or don't do one thing, you're not going to listen to me anyway. You're going to do what you want to do. So I'm kind of over that conversation. But going back to the mental health thing, Dave Chappelle left. Talk about the GOAT. He is maybe the greatest of all time in stand-up comedian.
Without a doubt.
When he left, he was ridiculed. People called him insane. People called him mental. People said he went to go hide somewhere and smoke weed. That was not the case at all. He left because of the networks. He left because he didn't want to be told what to do. He left because of the game surrounding him. He came back stronger than ever. And now Simone, on this hand, is getting applauded for leaving.
Not always.
I think if Tom Brady left at halftime of the game, he'd be ridiculed. So it's just an interesting change of tactics, or what, maybe that's not the right word. A dynamic is what I should say, of how we maybe it's not generational, maybe it's gender specific.
Her too, though. A lot of people are.
I don't believe.
I know, but nobody
I
up here.
don't think that she's being applauded. I think she's being supported because we also have to consider that Simone is 24 years old. She's been in competition for a very long time. She also became the face of a national sex abuse scandal, international sex abuse scandal. There's a lot going on there. So the idea that people want to just boil it down to a couple days of competition is super problematic because, as Sam mentioned earlier, the idea that if her head isn't in it for whatever reason, that she could actually hurt herself permanently is something that a lot of people have never put their bodies in a position to be that vulnerable. So I think the conversation is bigger than just a few days at the Olympics.
Welcome back to DBL. There is a new trend on social media, moms posting unflattering photos or video of their babies. Check out this mom's post of her baby that went viral. She wrote about it in the comments saying, quote, when you hop on the ugly newborn trend and wake up to 10 million views, 2 million likes, and 20,000 shares on TikTok. She also posted a glow-up photo of her baby. So what do you do when you see an ugly baby, and what do you think of moms posting these unflattering photos and essentially trolling their own kids? Listen, when your baby's born, they're not the cutest. I'll just be honest. Like, it took a while. Like, I immediately loved my children, but they have to like go through they're all squished. They almost look like aliens. I think it's okay to call it what it is. There's very few perfect cherub-looking babies, right? They're swollen, they're blue.
I agree. I mean, I saw this trend and I immediately thought of my Aunt Wilhelmina, who's watching in Cleveland right now. I'm not going to say the basketball player she was talking about, but she said, "Ooh, insert name here. Got a face only a mother could love."
Oh my gosh.
I just remember her because like that's old school. They'll just be like, "Oh, that baby ain't cute, but that's all right," you know. And babies grow and look different. But I think it's cute. I think it's harmless. A baby isn't gonna, it's not gonna affect the baby.
No, they're not. I mean, I don't know why we have this trend in society to be like, oh my God, if you say a baby's not good looking, you're the devil. They're not. I had 2 and they're not good looking. They come out, you're like, nurse, help me out, man, because something's in his eyes, he's choking, there's all this other stuff going on, not to be too graphic. Clean him up a little bit. When I take him home and he's all dried off, you're a cute little baby. But when you come out, it's not so great.
I've never met an ugly baby.
See, there you go.
Oh,
there's the answer.
I've never seen an ugly baby.
Have you seen it when it was?
Yes, I've seen. I have nieces and nephews. I have not seen an ugly. I'm telling you right now.
Jeff, look at Erica's jeans.
No, stop.
That's true. That's true.
Stop.
I'm going to do a show tomorrow. I'm going to do a show tomorrow that I'm going to agree with everything social media tells me to. I'm going to do. I'm going to be like.
If you say that you've never seen an ugly baby, though, then
I'm going to say puppies are awesome. I agree with everything.
You think I'm agreeing with what social media says?
No, I'm just saying
today's
society.
not the day, Jeff.
I'm just saying
today's not the day, because I am feeling very disagreeable. We could go there, but I'm telling you the truth.
Go there.
I've never seen an ugly baby.
I believe it with Erica's jeans, but I'll tell you, for my 2 babies, when they first came out, I was like, oh. But then give it a couple weeks, they depuff, the acne clears up, all that, and it all works itself
like
out.
You're talking about a drunken college student. Like it's no, I think if you say you have to see an ugly baby because that's how you judge what a cute baby is.
But you could only call your own. You could only call your own babies ugly.
Amen.
Yeah. You can't call someone else's baby ugly.
Well,
that's
there you go. Okay,
rules.
so now you're on my side because I haven't had a baby, so therefore I can't call a baby ugly. Now check that.
We're going to leave it on that.
I might leave a little early today because I feel the wrath coming. And this isn't even a good story.
I didn't even come for you. I was over here just sitting here minding my own business.
What
and
do
you
we
like,
got coming up
well,
next?
why do I have to say? Maybe I'll say what society wants me to say, as if I'm so agreeable with society. Yeah, I'm sitting in this chair every day agreeable with society. That's what everybody says to me on social media. Erica, I love how you agree with everything we say.
Coming up on DBL.
Remain silent, Jeff.
How did
I have a wife. I know what's up.
How did this woman end up living in the Tower of London? And did she really see ghosts there? She tells us the scary situation she's ended up in next.
Now that there is a 4th wave of COVID sweeping over the U.S., fueled by the Delta variant, the debate over masks is heating up again. But it turns out your old cloth mask might not cut it. Let's connect the dots. Any way you look at it, the Delta variant is a lot more contagious, with evidence indicating that it can travel from person to person in just seconds and with limited contact. Researchers have found people infected with Delta have 1,000 times higher viral load than people infected with the original coronavirus strain. That has helped it race across the country, and it has public health officials asking even vaccinated people to wear masks again. But we're not talking just any mask. The former head of the FDA, Scott Gottlieb, says we need to be talking about high-quality masks like N95 respirators. Those are the medical-grade masks. They provide more protection than cloth or surgical masks. Cloth masks can be problematic because they don't filter out enough particles, and surgical masks don't fit tight to your face. Now, there is one group that should not be wearing N95s. That's children. They have not been approved for use in kids, and probably more importantly, can be uncomfortable to wear for long periods of time. Experts say it's better to find a mask that kids can wear comfortably to encourage them to use them. And of course, your best protection is a COVID-19 vaccine.
Welcome back to DBL. In some ways, 21-year-old Megan Clawson is living the life of a medieval princess. She and her dad live in the historic Tower of London. We chatted with her about her life in a castle, but it's not as glamorous as you may think. Have a look. Megan Clawson is bringing some unusual British history to life. She's been living in the Tower of London for a year with her dad, who is a beef eater or tower guard. The 13th century fortress was once a castle, a prison, and is now home to the famous crown jewels. It's also notorious for the beheading of Anne Boleyn, King Henry VIII's second wife. But Megan likes to focus on some of the lesser known facts of the tower's history.
The tale that I am about to tell is considered one of the goriest in the history of the Tower of London.
Her videos on TikTok have earned her 30,000 followers who love seeing what her life living in a tourist attraction is really like.
It's a real privilege to live inside the Tower of London until you realise that you're also part of the attraction and you have a lovely audience for most of the day.
Megan, welcome to DBL. So this is fascinating. My husband and I visited the Tower of London. It was one of our most memorable experiences. I can't believe that you live there. So how much of the tower's history did you know before you actually moved in with your dad, who's a guard there?
I thought when he said, oh, I'll be living in the Tower of London, I thought he meant he was going to be living in Tower Bridge. Really had no clue what I was letting myself in for, really.
The tower is heavily guarded, and that's kind of a question I have. So, like, what restrictions are there for you? Like, what can and can you not do?
There's always a beefeater on guard, so if you want to leave after a certain time, you have to sign out and things like that. And to be let in, again, you need to have told somebody beforehand, so everybody knows where you are at what time and what you're wearing and everything. So
no
it's
sneaking out.
I was going to say, so let's keep it 100. That's what we do on this show. How does this affect your dating life? Because I know it's got to be hard to tell people, like, hey, you need to sign in with this guard.
You date a beefeater.
That's right.
I am actually going out with the Queen's Guard, so I feel like the most British person in the world. So my dad is a beefeater, I live in the Tower of London, and my boyfriend is a Queen's Guard.
Wow, this doesn't even sound real.
I know.
So the tower was a prison at one point and the site of a few beheadings.
Yep.
So speaking of not real, is it haunted, and have you ever experienced a run-in with a tower ghost?
It does get a little bit hard when I'm here home alone, and it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, had a couple of drinks, and I was about to go to bed, and my TV flashed on kind of the old school static that you see in the horror films, with like a silhouette in front of it. So it's like it had just kind of head and shoulders, and then as quick as it flashed on, it flashed back off again, and I was like, okay, this is where I switch my phone off, roll over, and go to sleep. It was
I would have ran out of there. Even if like the beefeater had to catch up with me, at least like a human was catching up with me, I could not imagine.
Well, she knows the rule though. Like, if you go to sleep, ghosts can't get you.
Now, I had no idea that there was also an exclusive pub in the tower. I'm so mad I didn't get to visit it. Apparently, many celebrities go there. Leonardo DiCaprio has had a pint there. Is that true? Have you ever spotted stars?
Yeah, when you're famous, you know about it.
Wow. Have you ever heard about this? And maybe can I use you as a contact next time I'm there?
Well, yeah, even the celebrities have to know a beefeater personally to be able to be invited in. So even Leo had to have a beefeater invite him in. I've never met a celebrity in the bar myself, but my dad does the whole typical dad thing where he's so unaffected by fame and celebrities that he'll just come in after having 1 or 2 pints down there, and he'll be chatting away to me about typical dad things I'm like, okay, fair enough, get to the point. And then about 20 minutes later, he'll go, oh yeah, Tom Hardy was in the tower while I was down in the pub. And I was like, why didn't you ring me up? Just so yeah, I haven't met any myself. But
your dad hogs them all.
And she totally dismissed your invitation.
I know. You didn't say anything about me using you as a contact to get into the secret pub.
That was on purpose.
She laughed it off again.
Feel free if you
You're not getting it.
Megan, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us here on DBL. You can follow all of Megan's adventures on TikTok at Megan AMBXR and learn a thing or two about British history. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
pandemic had a lot of Americans looking for financial relief wherever they could find it, and the government stimulus aimed to get it to them. But we received a handful of emails like this one from viewer Angela asking, does Congress give homeowners a relief program for mortgage payments? And she cites the website lowermybill.com. We found this similar claim boasting a $3,500 benefit for homeowners owing less than $331,000 on their home. So let's verify. Is there a Congress-approved homeowner relief program for mortgage payments? For our sources, we talked to Brandy Whitmire, a Dallas-based mortgage loan originator. She looked at the offers and says,
no, it's complete, like, it's clickbait, it's basically.
Tricky advertising. Whitmire says these companies take a few partial truths and combine them into a broad claim that is not really what it appears. Mortgage companies Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are backed by the government, but calling these programs or these advertisements a Congress-approved relief program is misleading.
It's broken down. This ad is broken down to different segments of what could be a refinance opportunity with basically 3 different sectors.
What they want is for you to click that box and fill out a form that may or may not produce some kind of refinance opportunity to save money. But the broad claim of a Congress-approved mortgage relief program, we're going to verify that is false.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's not possible, but it does not mean, no, this is not a everyone gets this. There's a, no, not at all.
If you've been affected financially by the COVID-19 pandemic, the government does offer mortgage forbearance for federally backed or FHA loans on single-family homes.
Welcome back to DBL. I have a little treat for you. So speaking of when you first have a baby, it's a lot to take in. Here's a really good photo of Jeff when he saw his second baby being born.
We've showed the actual photo on this show before.
But not everybody watches every day. So this could be a new little treat.
But that takes it totally out of, I mean,
yeah,
you need to see the whole thing.
But I think we were worried about.
Oh, we can't show the whole thing?
Yeah.
We have before.
Oh.
I think we put a little smiley face over the baby. But
and you were just
that was
shocked
real.
that it came out, not that it was good looking or...
I'm never calling a baby bad looking again.
If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show on Facebook or YouTube, chat with other viewers, leave your comments, and be a part of our DBL Nation. But if you're sticking around, here's what's coming up. A look inside Kanye West's new living situation. Why is he staying at an Atlanta stadium? Plus, Paris Hilton puts pregnancy rumors to rest, what she said to set the record straight.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Al, Jeff, and Erica. Let's get started. So Paris Hilton is shooting down rumors that she's having, oh, I forgot I was a camera, just putting my tea away, that she's shooting down rumors that she's having a baby. Yesterday, Page 6 reported that Paris was pregnant with her first child, but then Paris went on her podcast to set the record straight. Take a listen.
But yes, I am pregnant with triplets. So thank you guys for the congratulations. I really appreciate it, and I am just so excited for motherhood. Actually, I'm just kidding. I am not pregnant, not yet. I am waiting till after the wedding.
I love how monotone she is, and she's like that in real life too. But was this all a ploy to promote her new Netflix cooking show? The preview for Cooking with Paris also dropped on Tuesday, coincidentally, featuring Kim Kardashian and other friends. Have a look.
Wait. I spoke too soon.
Ew. Welcome to my kitchen. I love cooking.
How you're getting your feathers and everything.
I'm a natural. You guys watching at home, we did this wrong, so do it the opposite way for this part.
What do you think, Erica? Do you think this was a publicity stunt the whole time in order to get people to look at her new cooking show?
Well, yes, I think that, well, Paris Hilton has been the queen of publicity stunts since the beginning. But I'm here for Kathy Hilton because she is absolutely killing it on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Kathy Hilton holds the key to the whole empire because watching her is like, oh, I understand now. I get it.
But, and also, even if it is a publicity stunt, you have to do something to get eyeballs on you. I mean, we are in such a place in entertainment where everything is fractured. You got to have something, some hashtag, am I pregnant, as Paris, just to kind of direct attention towards you.
That comes with a lot of flack, though. We saw it with Justin Bieber. The people out there that are struggling with infertility don't want to see people use pregnancy as a ploy to get eyeballs to whatever project they're trying to pitch.
I'm going to throw it to Erica real quick. What do you say about fame?
Fame or shame, it's all the same game. But I will say to that point, though, Sam, that it was an interesting choice if this was intentional, because Paris is also 40 years old.
And has been struggling with infertility.
Yeah,
I believe she's going to be doing IVF.
Right, so I wouldn't play like that, being in that same position at 40.
Can we talk about the cooking show and how disrespectful it is to chefs? No, seriously, though. I love the Food Network. I love cooking shows. This is a disaster. It's The Simple Life 20 years ago recreated in the kitchen.
That's the point. That's her whole point. Remember, she did this first of all, we don't know if this is a publicity stunt. The producers are reminding me. You're right. We're just speculating. But first, she had this on YouTube about a year and a half ago. Remember when everyone was like, wait, what? Paris has the cooking show? So she took that YouTube show, sold it to Netflix. So good for her. I mean, it's not like out of nowhere she had this cooking show. But you're right. The whole point is she doesn't know how to cook. So
I know, but
it's more interviews. She has all these different celebrities on. They have fun. They laugh, and it's getting
like
to know
red
the celebrity.
table talk in the kitchen.
No, not at all. They're cooking hamburgers on the
definitely not red table talk in the kitchen.
They're going to get into conversations about life.
Yeah, I would think that they're trying to have like a casual celebrity interview under the guise of a cooking show.
That's not what red table talk is.
Red table talk's way more sophisticated.
Dude, red table talk goes there. Thank you. It is a full hour deep dive, and the whole point of the red table was to give women of color, women that are marginalized in the media, space to hold space.
You walked into it, buddy.
I sure did. Maybe Andy Cohen's show in the kitchen?
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
1 for 2. I'll take it. That's a good batting average.
And they were just letting you pass.
And speaking of Kim Kardashian, her ex Kanye West is living in an Atlanta stadium. Did you know that? Kanye was supposed to drop his album Donda last Friday, but it's nowhere to be found because it's not done yet. Kanye is apparently still working on the album at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, the same place where he actually held that listening party last week. And he's also living there. He posted a shot of his there it is. Wow, those are his living quarters, you guys. He posted that on Instagram, showing a twin bed, flat screen TV, a closet, and not much else. Their house was like that, though, too. Just like in a bigger, remember how, like, desolate and like sparse, whatever that word.
It didn't look like that.
It was, Erica, there was no furniture in their house. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but that was chic. This is locker room. I mean, it's okay.
But you got to go back to the nitty gritty to do the training. Like when a champion like loses and they're like, I'm going back to the why to train, like where it all started.
Well, me and Erica were talking about this earlier, and you had a great point. I didn't even think about it.
I liken it to method acting. Like, this is where the performances, this is where the connections, everything happens in stadiums like this. But I also think it's an interesting choice for how he's choosing to live, because he's clearly tapping back into his roots. I have a friend on Instagram, and all of a sudden he's a rapper from Chicago, like, a part of the culture. And all of a sudden he started posting these things about working with Kanye very cryptically. So I think that there's going to be a very deep-seated Chicago hometown connection, all about Dr. Donda. Excuse me?
Why is he in Atlanta then?
He just had the listening party there on Friday.
That is a good point.
So he must just stay there.
But he's not the first artist to do it. Tupac was like that. When Tupac finally made all his money from his album, he didn't leave his neighborhood. Even like when he had like astronomical amounts of money, he moved 3 doors down from my husband, who did not live in the nicest neighborhood. So like certain people like to stay with the culture, keep that artistic integrity, and it fuels their creativity.
Tupac died when he was 24. Kanye's like 40-something.
Okay, but still, Tupac had millions of dollars to play with. He could have easily gone to Bel Air and had a huge mansion. He decided not to. I thought that was pretty admirable of him.
I don't know about admirable, but yeah, I mean.
Why? He knew what fueled his creativity. You don't think so?
Yeah, but it's also, this is another conversation. There's a lot of danger that can come with that too.
Oh, true.
Like keeping that kind of money around people that don't have it can sometimes work out poorly.
Yep, that's a good point. Okay, so this is a really interesting story, because I feel like you guys have been talking about this story since I sat down, or at least like the concept of it.
This is on the homie group chat thread last night.
All right, well, let's dive into it. Kelly Clarkson has been ordered to pay up in her ongoing divorce battle. A judge ruled that Kelly has to pay her ex, Brandon Blackstock, almost $200,000 a month. That's $150,000 for spousal support, $45,000 a month for child support. She also has to shell out more than $1 million for her ex's attorney fees and pay any costs related to the divorce. According to court records, Kelly makes around $1.5 million a month. What do you think about this, Jeff?
He's accustomed to his lifestyle, and he deserves the money.
Ooh, Erica rolled her eyes. Go, Erica. Go, Erica.
I was waiting for this.
Wasn't his daddy the owner of the company that he was a manager for?
Yes.
Still is, and he's suing Kelly Clarkson for commissions not paid.
Yeah, he managed her career.
And he's also been very nasty from the beginning. He was speaking out, and she wasn't speaking out. So I'm sure that there's a lifestyle he's been accustomed to. Daddy gave it to him, and now she has to continue to pay for it.
And the courts gave it to him too, Erica, and that's who we cannot continue to like let this ride. I don't think that the courts are there to destroy people. I don't know too many people on this planet that can constantly, because we say, oh, she makes $1.5 million a month. Now she does. Well, she's in entertainment. Right. That changes very quickly.
Isn't this a double standard, though? Because when it's the flip side, when we're talking about, let's say, a male artist and the mom or the wife, and I know traditionally speaking, it might be the wife that's managing the household, taking care of the kids. I know that that's traditionally speaking, but perhaps that's not their living situation. So everyone is defending Kelly Clarkson in this situation. I'm not saying who I'm defending, but if the roles were reversed, it would be different. Why the double standard?
I think that in this particular situation, you have someone who isn't living up to the expectation of when they came into the marriage. In a lot of these situations, Dr. Dre was ordered to pay his ex-wife $300,000 a month. That's only $100,000 more, and they were married for 25 years. These folks were married for like 2 hot seconds. I know it's 7 years, but that's 2 hot seconds. I mean, and the idea that he was able to have this lifestyle before and just chooses to do something else, like what if everyone just chose to, like, I know that you're living to the greatest of your potential, but I'm just going to sit back and ride this out, and that wasn't a part of the initial agreement?
But we're also looking at the number without looking at the formula. So like if she was making $2,000 a month, they're still going to take about 13%, whatever that formula is, and give it for spousal support. support or child support. Because she's making astronomically a lot of money, $1.5 million a month, that's insane.
But you could argue that $2,000 would be more hurtful to that person. If you're making $2,000 a month, you're kind of just getting by. So if somebody takes 13% of that, you're going to feel that a lot more.
You got to argue with the court system because they have their formula. It doesn't matter if you're making $30 million a month or $2,000 a month. They're still going to take that same percentage.
It seems like these rules were made at a time where you know, they were like no function. Like, he's a young man that has the rest of his life. Like, this functional adult gets $200,000 a year, a month for
nothing. What if he was taking care of their kids the whole time? I don't know that. I'm just playing devil's advocate. Because a lot of times, if the woman
he can do it now, Sam. He can get him a new caddy every month, $45,000.
But traditionally speaking, if the woman's taking care of the kids for 30 years, not 3 years, but in Dr. Dre's case, and she wasn't able to get a job or fine-tune her skills, her resume skills, if all of that has gone, then yeah, all of a sudden, what is she supposed to do? She raised her children.
I think that's what the original rules were for people that kind of sacrifice their career. But now we're just talking about young socialites that just want to go to different parties than their exes.
For sure. I agree. No, I agree. I definitely do. All right, coming up on DBL.
You agree?
I do.
All right.
Coming up on DBL, you guys, Tito Jackson is here live. There he is. We can't wait to talk with him coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
Hi, DBL Nation. I hear Erica talking over here, so we're going to continue the conversation. What were you saying, Eve?
Yeah, no, I think the whole conversation about spousal support is an interesting conversation because that is something that people choose or just don't think about to have that conversation when they're entering into a relationship.
Exactly.
Like, my husband and I had that conversation, and it was very clear, although in the beginning there was a point where I did not have a job, and a big part of what I did on a daily basis was to support what he was doing in the interim till I found a job. But the moment that I started working again, and he would always say, like, your job is not to take care of me. Like, your job is to take care of yourself so that we can be a partnership in this agreement. And the same with him when the roles have reversed. So I think that we just need to be a little bit more vocal and communicate with our partners about what the expectation is, so you don't have one person who's catering, which happens a lot, to another person without the understanding that if this doesn't work out, then I need to be compensated for that.
Is this more for him?
DBL Nation, we also want to send our well wishes to actor Bob Odenkirk. He did pass out on set of Better Call Saul yesterday. We have not gotten any updates. Bryan Cranston, actor and co-star in Breaking Bad, is wishing him well. We will keep you updated on that as soon as we get any updates. Let us know your opinions on what Erica was talking about. We'll see you soon.
So we are having some technical difficulties getting Tito. So just know I'm going to be communicating with our producers, and our goal is to get him on here. If not, we'll have to get him on later on in the week. So Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis don't spend a lot of time on bath time for their kids. Speaking on Dax Shepard's Armchair Expert podcast, the couple said that they didn't bathe their two kids that often when they were babies. Have a listen.
When I had children, I also didn't wash them every day. Like, I wasn't the parent that bathed my newborns ever.
Now, here's the thing. If you can see the dirt on them, clean them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's no point.
Oh my gosh, I get it. It's so funny, to each its own. Sophie was the type of baby where we were really structured. Like they call it like the 4 Bs, like bath, boob, books, and bed. And we really, like she loved her bath time. Miles isn't that into bath time, so we don't bathe Miles every day. A couple days a week, that's the truth.
Is it weird that I'm kind of with this? Babies don't get dirty that much. And do you want to introduce chemical? What are you dunking them in a? They don't get that. What are you rolling in a softball
blowouts? But how
They're
often
in a blanket all day.
How often do you bathe?
Almost every day. I would say.
Every day they bathe.
Babies. What do you mean they don't get dirty?
They don't.
They just produce liquids.
Yeah, you wipe them off.
I'm
it's
with
like
Al.
new leather seats in a BMW. You don't just scrub it.
Yeah, but you don't. Listen, you don't go to the bathroom in your pants and then go take a shower 4 days later, okay?
That's a great
responsible
point.
parent, you wash your
think
kid.
about that.
That's a great point.
We're ready for Tito. Tito Jackson is here. Okay, so
Perfect timing.
Tito, thank you for joining us. I believe we have a soundbite first. Oh, there's Tito. Okay, let's listen to the new album. Wow. Okay, Tito, Jack, we are all like literally rocking out.
Full disclosure, while that was playing, Tito, I just turned to my co-host. I was like, I think I love this.
Yeah.
I mean, that was funky.
Yeah, that is good, Tito.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
What inspired you for this album particularly? Did you have a sound in your mind, or did you actually go into the studio and it just kind of like unraveled?
Well, a little bit of both. You know, I had always planned to do a blues recording my whole career, but now's the time. And it started prior to the pandemic. I would say about a couple of months before. We had a few songs, including George Benson song "Rock Me Baby," which is B.B. King's tribute that we did with Claudette King. So, given saying all that and loving blues and traveling with the band and all that, one thing happened after another.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I mean, you're no stranger to this business. You've been making music since the 70s with your brothers, but it wasn't until 2016 that you released your first solo album, Tito Time. Now you're about to release your second album, Under Your Spell. Why was it so important for you to focus on being a father first before finally exploring your solo career?
Well, I was a young father. I got married 2 weeks out of high school, and at the age of 20, I had my first son, and the solo records were going around in the Jackson family. Michael had his solos, and Jackie had his, and so did Marlon and Jermaine. I was the only Jackson in the family, including the girls, that never recorded. So every member in the family had a solo. I wanted to raise my boys. I was young. I was busy as heck with the Jackson 5, and I just couldn't find the time to find a solo career amongst all that. So I concentrated on my boys.
Well, first of all, you're sitting next to, you're with two dads right here that really respect that. You know, and I'm going to go off script for this question because just hearing that music, I have to ask you about this. Where did you go in your heart and your soul to find that sound? Because that sounds like that's been in you for decades. It's such a funky collaboration with the harmonica there, with the guitar, with your voice over it. It's just such a, I feel like I should be outdoors with a drink, just hanging out with friends, talking, listening to that. That's a great sound you got. Where'd that come from?
And you don't drink.
I don't drink, yeah. It can be sparkling water, yeah.
I think that all basically came from the inspiration of the movement of today with all the situations we have with not showing love to each other, I should say, with the Capitol situation and the George Floyd situation. And it's time for calling for people to remember to love one each other. And I think that flared up all type of energy and lyrics and feelings and what have you.
Wow.
That was inspiring.
yeah.
I will be picking that up.
Amen. Tito Jackson, thank you so much for joining us. DBL Nation, you can hear more of Tito's new album, Under Your Spell, soon. It will be available to stream and download August 6th. Thank you so much, Tito, for taking the time. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
I'm digging that. Thank you, brother.
Right
Back soon.
We all know that.
Welcome back to DBL. Once you hit age 40, it can get harder and harder to lose weight and to keep it off. So we're going to chat about it on DBL's Focus on Fitness presented by QB. Turning 40 is great, but your metabolism slowing down, not so great. Here are a couple of the top ways to help with that. First, create a list of reasons you want to lose weight and figure out exactly what is motivating you. Next, be mindful of your portion sizes while eating. This will easily help cut back on calories. We're all a work of progress, right? And just remember, you are not in this alone. So staying active is important, and QB has made it easy regardless of physical ability or age. Try their under-desk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-782-2351 or visit QB.com to learn more.
Yeah.
You like hang pictures, right?
I have, I write down goals and different things like that, you know.
But I thought you also had like a picture of you that you hung on the fridge, or no?
No.
Wow.
Well, of myself?
You did. I thought you said you once hung like a picture of yourself on the fridge.
I think you dreamed that.
Oh, I used to do that before
it was Erica.
competitions.
Okay,
yeah,
thank you.
to
One of
remind
my
me like
co-hosts.
what I needed to work on for the next competition. I would put it in the pantry.
And it worked for you.
Yeah, well, I had to be ready. I had already invested a lot of money in that competition.
But I do need more pictures of myself around the house.
Yeah, I'm starting hanging pictures of myself.
Yeah, I'm going to give them to Al, too.
We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
The pandemic had a lot of Americans looking for financial relief wherever they could find it, and the government stimulus aimed to get it to them. But we received a handful of emails like this one from viewer Angela asking, does Congress give homeowners a relief program for mortgage payments? And she cites the website lowermybill.com. We found this similar claim boasting a $3,500 benefit for homeowners owing less than $331,000 on their home. So let's verify. Is there a Congress-approved homeowner relief program for mortgage payments? For our sources, we talked to Brandy Whitmire, a Dallas-based mortgage loan originator. She looked at the offers and says,
No, it's complete, like, it's clickbait, it's basically.
Tricky advertising. Whitmire says these companies take a few partial truths and combine them into a broad claim that is not really what it appears. Mortgage companies Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are backed by the government, but calling these programs or these advertisements a Congress-approved relief program is misleading.
It's broken down. This ad is broken down to different segments of what could be a refinance opportunity with basically 3 different sectors.
What they want is for you to click that box and fill out a form that may or may not produce some kind of refinance opportunity to save money. But the broad claim of a Congress-approved mortgage relief program, we're going to verify that is false.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's not possible, but it does not mean, no, this is not a everyone gets this. No, not at all.
If you've been affected financially by the COVID-19 pandemic, the government does offer mortgage forbearance for federally backed or FHA loans on single-family homes.
On DBL, a man wrongfully convicted of rape calls for criminal justice reform.
I'm trying to change some of the old, outdated laws.
Don't miss this all-new Freedom Files. And the dog whisperer himself, Cesar Millan, is here.
The only thing I wanted to do is to teach people there is no such a thing as a bad dog.
That's tomorrow on DBL.
Ooh, can't wait for that one. Welcome back to DBL. Erica, we got some comments?
Yes, and it's all about Tito Jackson.
Okay.
Great to see Tito on the show today, says Jamie. And Sean Gillis says, love that song from Tito Jackson and just downloaded the song on iTunes.
Nice. I'm going to download it and listen to it on the way home.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
That's a car ride home song for sure. Sunshine, I'm digging it.
How are you going to dance to it?
The same dance she always does.
No, it doesn't matter what the tune is.
Yeah,
that's a dance.
I do different dancing.
There you go. Let's see it. They're playing the music.
Oh.
Sam is drunk girl at the jukebox there. That's all right. I'm here for it.
DBL's new every day. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place.
We're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Simone Biles drops out of the all-around gymnastics final over mental health concerns. DBL Nation, do you respect her decision? Masks are back as places like Las Vegas will start requiring them indoors. Will a mask mandate return where you live? A woman reveals what it's like living inside the Tower of London. Is it really haunted?
My TV flashed on kind of the old school static that you see in the horror films.
And Tito Jackson will be here live.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. It is Wednesday, July 28th. I'm Sam here with my friends Al, Jeff, and Erica. Let's get started. Simone Biles. Wow, everyone's been talking about her. So her chance to take home the gold at the Summer Games is fading. She withdrew herself from the all-around gymnastics competition due to mental health issues. Today, fellow Olympians like Michael Phelps and Dominique Dawes are defending her decision. Take a look.
First, I wanted to make sure she was okay. You know, it's got to be difficult having something like that happen in a competition. You know, we were just talking. I don't know if that's ever happened for me. So, but also, I think on the other side, this is an opportunity for us, all of us, to really learn more about mental health.
She's been labeled as the GOAT. She's been an Olympian before. She's expected to bring home 5+ Olympic medals and also lead the team. There's a lot that's put up on this young girl, but what I respect most about her is she's listening to her inner voice, and she made a decision that was best for her.
But there are some who are calling her out for abandoning her team, including Piers Morgan, who tweeted, quote, Simone Biles calls herself the greatest of all time, but no GOAT would quit on their teammates like that, costing them an Olympic gold medal. Okay, Erica, I should mention too, when I posted something about Simone last night, some people wrote, because I was defending her, some people wrote back saying this is a generational thing. We wouldn't see this with our previous athletes. They would have toughed it out. The athletes today, in their words, are coddled, are entitled. I disagree with that. But what did you think about Piers and what some of the naysayers are saying?
Well, we wouldn't have heard from the athletes in previous generations because we didn't have that type of communication structure in the form of social media, and most things were considered very close to the vest. You know, what do you say about Piers Morgan? At the end of the day, Piers Morgan chimes in from the sunken place in order to project his own quitting spirit onto Simone Biles' mental health issues, a woman who is less than half his age. So I think Piers should probably just take a back seat to this, and it makes me wonder if she stopped returning his calls too.
The sunken place sounds like a bar I used to drink at. I could just see that. Like I like the dirty bars.
I should say really quickly, the quitting spirit you're referring to is Piers Morgan walked off the set of his work. Yes.
Right.
Okay.
He could dish it, but he just couldn't take it.
All right. Jeff, what are you thinking?
First of all, we shouldn't even put Piers Morgan in this conversation, right? As soon as you take Piers Morgan and give a quote to the other side, it diminishes the other side's argument. We shouldn't even be showing that. We should show someone of importance, maybe a former athlete, maybe a Michael Jordan, hear what he has to say. I remember growing up as a kid and respecting Michael Jordan because he put it all out there. He laid it on the line. Remember when he was sick and he had that last shot and Scottie Pippen had to carry him off the court? Famous, iconic shot. This is just a sign of the times. We say it's generational. It's very true. Because back in the day, people were respected for that. Now it's more respected, and we have to get ready for this. As an older generation, I have to get ready for my kids. Me as a father, coming through from, I guess, that old school mentality of you got to tough it out, you got to do this, and society saying, no, you don't. It's your mental health that you need to take care of. So this is going to be something I have to deal with as a parent moving forward, because I think Simone Biles has set the mark, saying, hey, why aren't you coming to work today? Well, I just don't feel like it because I'm taking a mental health day. This is going to be the future. She set a bar going forward here.
Well, you know, Jeff, you're calling it a generational thing. And it really is when you think about it. But like, let's move sports. You remember there was he was up and coming, a pretty famous linebacker for the 49ers. His name was Borland. And he retired super early from the NFL. Maybe his second year, he had just signed a big contract and he retired in free agency, in training camp, because he was worried that he was already having effects from concussions. I think the difference between this generation, the Simone Biles generation, even from the Michael Phelps generation, is they see 20 years into the future. What happens when you don't take care of your mental health, when you don't take care of your personal well-being? And making this personal really quickly, as a comic, I saw some of the older comics that were the height of heights, line wrapped around the corner to come see them, but they were drinking a lot, they were not getting a lot of sleep, they were not the best family men, and I see what happened to them into their careers. And I think a lot of younger comics now, you talk to them and they're talking about their algorithms and they're talking about, you know, the SEOs and just businessmen and women. So the generations do change as they look and see the mistakes and the successes of the generations before them.
I do too think we can't group the Simone Biles with, let's say, someone that's like, I don't want to come to work today, I need a mental health day, which could totally
That's where the trickle-down effect will take us.
Well, it could be legitimate for that one individual. I think we need to have discernment to look at each individual case. There's always going to be outliers that are going to take advantage of the mental health narrative. However, most of the people, I would only imagine, are doing it because they really, truly are suffering in that moment. If Simone Biles stuck it out, and then she would have either A, in her mind, cost her team any medal, they got a silver, or what if she would have broken her ankle? Then for the rest of her career, she can perhaps no longer compete. For the rest of her life, she's dealing with a debilitating injury. Someone with that mindset that got to the place where she did, in my opinion, has one of the most strongest mindsets in the world. You do not get to the point of a Simone Biles with a weak mindset. So I think she has a very strong mindset. She knew in that moment she was either going to fall and cause herself catastrophic injury. That's what I think. Or she thought, I'm going to completely take my team off the podium. So in my opinion, what she did was not only selfless, it was the right decision as an athlete and as a teammate. That's my own opinion. But it's a good conversation. I know you guys are having it, and it's polarizing. Of course it is. Everything is polarizing today, including masks.
That's why we have a show.
Yes. Masks are making a comeback. The CDC is now recommending that fully vaccinated people begin wearing them indoors again in places with high transmission rates. Speaking of which, beginning Friday, Las Vegas will require masks indoors for everyone. Here's what the CDC director said about it on GMA.
We know the vast amount of transmission that's happening in this country is among those who are unvaccinated. But we did, over this last several days now, see new science that demonstrated for those who are vaccinated that they could, in fact, transmit if they are one of those rare breakthrough infections. So that's new.
Now, this new surge in cases is also fueling a new outbreak of anger. The New York Times reports people are getting frustrated with the unvaccinated. I should also clarify, too, that the CDC is not requiring, other than Las Vegas, obviously every state, town is going to take their own measures. But the CDC is recommending if you're fully vaccinated, amongst fully vaccinated people, you can still unmask. If you're in a public place with other unvaccinated people, it's probably a good idea to err on the safe side and wear a mask. So I just want to clarify that. What do you think about this new epidemic of people being angry with the unvaccinated?
I think they have a right to be angry, just like the people that want to remain unvaccinated for whatever reason have their right to do that, as long as there's no federal mandate in place. But, you know, we have a right to be frustrated as grown folks up here. But what we're going to start talking to people that are in a place in their life where they've missed homecoming, they've missed prom, and they missed their freshman year of college. They missed their wedding for the second straight year. Their mom or father hasn't met their kid yet, and the kid's 2.5. So those people really have a reason to be frustrated. We lived our lives. I'm playing with house money at this point, so I get it.
Well, damn. I mean, but it's true. I mean, it really is true. I think also we have this, so many people are playing this game because, you know, there's this honor system in place. Like, no one's checking to see if, you know, you have proof of vaccination. And a lot of people aren't being very forthcoming with their vaccination status. So people have made up vaccination cards. So until this stops being a game to people, then we're just here. And that's just what it is.
Yeah,
I know we have 10 seconds. So Jeff wanted, well, we have 10 seconds, so I understand why you couldn't elaborate. But coming up on DBL, a college student who lives in the Tower of London finds out how she ended up calling, or find out how she ended up calling the legendary landmark her home. And an ugly baby photo trend? What? We'll explain why parents are poking fun at the way their own kids look.
Closed captioning provided by...
Hi, DBL Nation. It's Kelly Schubert with the DBL Digital Team. We ran out of time there, so let's continue the conversation. Jeff, what were you thinking about that
continue.
Story? I know, I did. I was hoping you guys wouldn't notice. I just kept going with it.
I kind of want to go back to the other conversation because Al
whatever you
mentioned
guys wanna talk about.
comedians and stuff, and I had in the back of my mind at some point to bring up Chappelle because when he left, he left
What a
for
great point.
Yeah, I would have liked to continue on that story.
Yeah.
But because, to be honest with you, the vaccines, the mask, I'm done fighting with people. People are going to do what they have to do. If I tell you to do one thing or don't do one thing, you're not going to listen to me anyway. You're going to do what you want to do. So I'm kind of over that conversation. But going back to the mental health thing, Dave Chappelle left. Talk about the GOAT. He is maybe the greatest of all time in stand-up comedian.
Without a doubt.
When he left, he was ridiculed. People called him insane. People called him mental. People said he went to go hide somewhere and smoke weed. That was not the case at all. He left because of the networks. He left because he didn't want to be told what to do. He left because of the game surrounding him. He came back stronger than ever. And now Simone, on this hand, is getting applauded for leaving.
Not always.
I think if Tom Brady left at halftime of the game, he'd be ridiculed. So it's just an interesting change of tactics, or what, maybe that's not the right word. A dynamic is what I should say, of how we maybe it's not generational, maybe it's gender specific.
Her too, though. A lot of people are.
I don't believe.
I know, but nobody
I
up
don't
here.
think that that she's being applauded. I think she's being supported because we also have to consider that Simone is 24 years old. She's been in competition for a very long time. She also became the face of a national sex abuse scandal, international sex abuse scandal. There's a lot going on there. So the idea that people want to just boil it down to a couple days of competition is super problematic because, as Sam mentioned earlier, the idea that if her head isn't in it for whatever reason, that she could actually hurt herself permanently is something that a lot of people have never put their bodies in a position to be that vulnerable. So I think the conversation is bigger than just a few days at the Olympics.
Welcome back to DBL. There is a new trend on social media, moms posting unflattering photos or video of their babies. Check out this mom's post of her baby that went viral. She wrote about it in the comments saying, quote, when you hop on the ugly newborn trend and wake up to 10 million views, 2 million likes, and 20,000 shares on TikTok. She also posted a glow-up photo of her baby. So what do you do when you see an ugly baby, and what do you think of moms posting these unflattering photos and essentially trolling their own kids? Listen, when your baby's born, they're not the cutest. I'll just be honest. Like, it took a while. Like, I immediately loved my children, but they have to like go through they're all squished. They almost look like aliens. I think it's okay to call it what it is. There's very few perfect cherub-looking babies, right? They're swollen, they're blue.
I agree. I mean, I saw this trend and I immediately thought of my Aunt Wilhelmina, who's watching in Cleveland right now. I'm not going to say the basketball player she was talking about, but she said, "Ooh, insert name here. Got a face only a mother could love."
Oh my gosh.
I just remember her because like that's old school. They'll just be like, "Oh, that baby ain't cute, but that's all right," you know. And babies grow and look different. But I think it's cute. I think it's harmless. The baby isn't gonna. It's not gonna affect the baby.
No, they're not. I mean, I don't know why we have this trend in society to be like, "Oh my God, if you say a baby's not good looking, you're the devil." They're not. I had two, and they're not good looking. They come out, you're like, "Nurse, help me out, man," because something's in his eyes. He's choking. There's all this other stuff going on. Not to be too graphic. Clean him up a little bit. When I take him home and he's all dried off, you're a cute little baby. But when you come out, it's not so great.
I've never met an ugly baby.
See, there you go. There's the answer.
I've never seen an ugly baby.
Have you seen it when it was?
Yes, I've seen. I have nieces and nephews. I have not seen an ugly. I'm telling you right now.
Jeff, look at Erica's jeans.
No, stop.
That's true. That's true.
Stop.
I'm going to do a show tomorrow. I'm going to do a show tomorrow that I'm going to agree with everything social media tells me to. I'm going to do. I'm going to be like.
If you say that you've never seen an ugly baby, though, then
I'm going to say puppies are awesome. I agree with everything
you think I'm agreeing with what social media says?
No, I'm just saying
today's
society.
not the day, Jeff.
I'm just saying
today's not the day, because I am feeling very disagreeable. We could go there, but I'm telling you the truth.
Go there.
I've never seen an ugly baby.
I believe it with Erica's jeans, but I'll tell you, for my two babies, when they first came out, I was like, oh. But then give it a couple weeks, they depuff, the acne clears up, all that, and it all works itself
like
out.
You're talking about a drunken college student. Like it's no. I think if you say if you have to see an ugly baby because that's how you judge what a cute baby is.
But you could only call your own. You could only call your own babies ugly.
Amen.
Yeah. You can't call someone else's baby ugly.
Well,
that's
there you go.
society
Okay,
rules.
so now you're on my side because I haven't had a baby, so therefore I can't call a baby ugly. Now check that.
We're going to leave it on that.
I might leave a little early today because I feel the wrath coming. And this isn't even a good story.
I didn't even come for you. I was over here just sitting here minding my own business.
What
and
do we
you
got coming up
well, why
next?
do I have to say? Maybe I'll say what society wants me to say, as if I'm so agreeable with society. Yeah, I'm sitting in this chair every day agreeable with society. That's what everybody says to me on social media. Erica, I love how you agree with everything we say.
Coming up on DBL.
Remain silent, Jeff.
How did
I have a wife. I know what's up.
How did this woman end up living in the Tower of London? And did she really see ghosts there? She tells us the scary situation she's ended up in next.
Now that there is a fourth wave of COVID sweeping over the U.S., fueled by the Delta variant, the debate over masks is heating up again. But it turns out your old cloth mask might not cut it. Let's connect the dots. Any way you look at it, the Delta variant is a lot more contagious, with evidence indicating that it can travel from person to person in just seconds and with limited contact. Researchers have found people infected with Delta have 1,000 times higher viral load than people infected with the original coronavirus strain. That has helped it race across the country, and it has public health officials asking even vaccinated people to wear masks again. But we're not talking just any mask. The former head of the FDA, Scott Gottlieb, says we need to be talking about high-quality masks like N95 respirators. Those are the medical-grade masks. They provide more protection than cloth or surgical masks. Cloth masks can be problematic because they don't filter out enough particles, and surgical masks don't fit tight to your face. Now, there is one group that should not be wearing N95s. That's children. They have not been approved for use in kids, and probably more importantly, can be uncomfortable to wear for long periods of time. Experts say it's better to find a mask that kids can wear comfortably to encourage them to use them. And of course, your best protection is a COVID-19 vaccine.
Welcome back to DBL. In some ways, 21-year-old Megan Clawson is living the life of a medieval princess. She and her dad live in the historic Tower of London. We chatted with her about her life in a castle, but it's not as glamorous as you may think. Have a look. Megan Clawson is bringing some unusual British history to life. She's been living in the Tower of London for a year with her dad, who is a beef eater or tower guard. The 13th century fortress was once a castle, a prison, and is now home to the famous crown jewels. It's also notorious for the beheading of Anne Boleyn, King Henry VIII's second wife. But Megan likes to focus on some of the lesser known facts of the tower's history.
The tale that I am about to tell is considered one of the goriest in the history of the Tower of London.
Her videos on TikTok have earned her 30,000 followers who love seeing what her life living in a tourist attraction is really like.
It's a real privilege to live inside the Tower of London until you realise that you're also part of the attraction and you have a lovely audience for most of the day.
Megan, welcome to DBL. So this is fascinating. My husband and I visited the Tower of London. It was one of our most memorable experiences. I can't believe that you live there. So how much of the tower's history did you know before you actually moved in with your dad, who's a guard there?
I thought when he said, oh, I'll be living in the Tower of London, I thought he meant he was going to be living in Tower Bridge. Really had no clue what I was letting myself in for, really.
The tower is heavily guarded, and that's kind of a question I have. So, like, what restrictions are there for you? Like, what can and can you not do?
There's always a beefeater on guard, so if you want to leave after a certain time, you have to sign out and things like that. And to be let in, again, you need to have told somebody beforehand, so everybody knows where you are at what time and what you're wearing and everything. So
No
it's,
sneaking out.
I was going to say, so let's keep it 100. That's what we do on this show. How does this affect your dating life? Because I know it's got to be hard to tell people, like, hey, you need to sign in with this guard.
You date a beefeater.
That's right.
I am actually going out with the Queen's Guard, so I feel like the most British person in the world. So my dad is a beefeater, I live in the Tower of London, and my boyfriend is a Queen's Guard.
Wow, this doesn't even sound real.
I know.
So the tower was a prison at one point and the site of a few beheadings.
Yep.
So speaking of not real, is it haunted, and have you ever experienced a run-in with a tower ghost?
It does get a little bit hard when I'm here home alone, and it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, had a couple of drinks, and I was about to go to bed, and my TV flashed on kind of the old school static that you see in the horror films, with like a silhouette in front of it. So it's like it had just kind of head and shoulders, and then as quick as it flashed on, it flashed back off again, and I was like, okay, this is where I switch my phone off, roll over, and go to sleep. It was
I would have ran out of there. Even if like the beefeater had to catch up with me, at least like a human was catching up with me, I could not imagine.
Well, she knows the rule, though. Like, if you go to sleep, ghosts can't get you.
Now, I had no idea that there was also an exclusive pub in the tower. I'm so mad I didn't get to visit it. Apparently, many celebrities go there. Leonardo DiCaprio has had a pint there. Is that true? Have you ever spotted stars?
Yeah, when you're famous, you know about it.
Yeah, wow. Have you ever heard about this? And maybe can I use you as a contact next time I'm there?
Well, yeah, even the celebrities have to know a beefeater personally to be able to be invited in. So even Leo had to have a beefeater invite him in. I've never met a celebrity in the bar myself, but my dad does the whole typical dad thing where he's so unaffected by fame and celebrities that he'll just come in after having 1 or 2 pints down there, and he'll be chatting away to me about typical dad things I'm like, okay, fair enough, get to the point. And then about 20 minutes later, he'll go, oh yeah, Tom Hardy was in the tower while I was down in the pub. And I was like, why didn't you ring me up? Just so yeah, I haven't met any myself. But
your dad hogs them all.
And she totally dismissed your invitation.
I know. You didn't say anything about me using you as a contact to get into the secret pub.
That was on purpose.
She laughed it off again.
Feel free if you're not going to.
You're not getting it.
Megan, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us here on DBL. You can follow all of Megan's adventures on TikTok at Megan AMBXR and learn a thing or two about British history. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
The pandemic had a lot of Americans looking for financial relief wherever they could find it, and the government stimulus aimed to get it to them. But we received a handful of emails like this one from viewer Angela asking, does Congress give homeowners a relief program for mortgage payments? And she cites the website lowermybill.com. We found this similar claim boasting a $3,500 benefit for homeowners owing less than $331,000 on their home. So let's verify. Is there a Congress-approved homeowner relief program for mortgage payments? For our sources, we talked to Brandy Whitmire, a Dallas-based mortgage loan originator. She looked at the offers and says,
No, it's complete, like, it's clickbait, is basically.
Tricky advertising. Whitmire says these companies take a few partial truths and combine them into a broad claim that is not really what it appears. Mortgage companies Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are backed by the government, but calling these programs or these advertisements a Congress-approved relief program is misleading.
It's broken down. This ad is broken down to different segments of what could be a refinance opportunity with basically 3 different sectors.
What they want is for you to click that box and fill out a form that may or may not produce some kind of refinance opportunity to save money. But the broad claim of a Congress-approved mortgage relief program, we're going to verify that is false.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's not possible, but it does not mean, no, this is not a everyone gets this. No, not at all.
If you've been affected financially by the COVID-19 pandemic, the government does offer mortgage forbearance for federally backed or FHA loans on single-family homes.
Welcome back to DBL. I have a little treat for you. So speaking of when you first have a baby, it's a lot to take in. Here's a really good photo of Jeff when he saw his second baby being born.
We've showed the actual photo on this show before.
But not everybody watches every day. So this could be a new little
But that
treat.
takes it totally out of, I mean,
yeah,
you need to see the whole thing.
But I think we were worried about.
Oh, we can't show the whole thing?
Yeah.
We have before.
Oh. Just
I think we put a little smiley face over the baby. But
and you were just
that was
shocked
real.
that it came out, not that it was good looking or...
I'm never calling a baby bad looking again.
If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show on Facebook or YouTube. Chat with other viewers, leave your comments, and be a part of our DBL Nation. But if you're sticking around, here's what's coming up. A look inside Kanye West's new living situation. Why is he staying at an Atlanta stadium? Plus, Paris Hilton puts pregnancy rumors to rest. What she said to set the record straight.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Al, Jeff, and Erica. Let's get started. So Paris Hilton is shooting down rumors that she's having, oh, I forgot I was a camera, just putting my tea away, that she's shooting down rumors that she's having a baby. Yesterday, Page 6 reported that Paris was pregnant with her first child, but then Paris went on her podcast to set the record straight. Take a listen.
But yes, I am pregnant with triplets. So thank you guys for the congratulations. I really appreciate it, and I am just so excited for motherhood. Actually, I'm just kidding. I am not pregnant, not yet. I am waiting till after the wedding.
I love how monotone she is, and she's like that in real life too. But was this all a ploy to promote her new Netflix cooking show? The preview for Cooking with Paris also dropped on Tuesday, coincidentally, featuring Kim Kardashian and other friends. Have a look.
Wait. I spoke too soon.
Ew. Welcome to my kitchen. I love cooking.
How you're getting your feathers and everything.
I'm a natural. You guys watching at home, we did this wrong, so do it the opposite way for this part.
What do you think, Erica? Do you think this was a publicity stunt the whole time in order to get people to look at her new cooking show?
Well, yes, I think that, Paris Hilton has been the queen of publicity stunts since the beginning. But I'm here for Kathy Hilton because she is absolutely killing it on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Kathy Hilton holds the key to the whole empire because watching her is like, oh, I understand now. I get it.
But, and also, even if it is a publicity stunt, you have to do something to get eyeballs on you. I mean, we are in such a place in entertainment where everything is fractured. You got to have something, some hashtag, am I pregnant as Paris, just to kind of direct attention towards you.
That comes with a lot of flack, though. We saw it with Justin Bieber. The people out there that are struggling with infertility don't want to see people use pregnancy as a ploy to get eyeballs to whatever project they're trying to pitch.
I'm going to throw it to Erica real quick. What do you say about fame?
Fame or shame, it's all the same game. But I will say to that point, though, Sam, that it was an interesting choice if this was intentional, because Paris is also 40 years old.
And has been struggling with infertility. I believe she's going to be doing IVF.
Right. So I wouldn't play like that, being in that same position at 40.
Can we talk about the cooking show and how disrespectful it is to chefs? No, seriously, though. I love the Food Network. I love cooking shows. This is a disaster. It's the Simple Life 20 years ago recreated in the kitchen.
That's the point. That's her whole point. Remember, she did this first of all, we don't know if this is a publicity stunt. The producers are reminding me. You're right. We're just speculating. But first, she had this on YouTube about 1.5 years ago. Remember when everyone was like, wait, what? Paris has a cooking show? So she took that YouTube show, sold it to Netflix. So good for her. I mean, it's not like out of nowhere she had this cooking show. But you're right. The whole point is she doesn't know how to cook. So
I know, but
it's more interviews. She has all these different celebrities on. They have fun. They laugh, and it's getting
like
to know the celebrity.
Red table talk in the kitchen.
No, not at all. They're cooking hamburgers on the.
Definitely not red table talk in the kitchen.
They're going to get into conversations about life.
Yeah, I would think that they're trying to have like a casual celebrity interview under the guise of a cooking show.
That's not what red table talk is.
Red table talk's way more sophisticated.
Dude, red table talk goes there. Thank you. It is a full hour deep dive, and the whole point of the red table was to give women of color, women that are marginalized in the media, space, to hold space.
You walked into it, buddy.
I sure did. Maybe Andy Cohen's show in the kitchen?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. Okay. 1 for 2, I'll take it. That's a good batting average.
And they were just letting you pass.
And speaking of Kim Kardashian, her ex Kanye West is living in an Atlanta stadium. Did you know that? Kanye was supposed to drop his album Donda last Friday, but it's nowhere to be found because it's not done yet. Kanye is apparently still working on the album at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, the same place where he actually held that listening party last week. And he's also living there. He posted a shot of his, there it is. Wow, those are his living quarters, you guys. He posted that on Instagram, showing a twin bed, flat screen TV, a closet, and not much else. Their house was like that, though, too. Just like in a bigger, remember how, like, desolate and like sparse, whatever that word.
It didn't look like that.
It was, Erica, there's no furniture in their house. Are you kidding me?
But that was chic. This is locker room. I mean, it's okay.
But you got to go back to the nitty gritty to do the training. Like when a champion like loses and they're like, I'm going back to the why to train, like where it all started.
Well, me and Erica were talking about this earlier, and you had a great point. I didn't even think about it.
I liken it to method acting. Like, this is where the performances, this is where the connections, everything happens in stadiums like this. But I also think it's an interesting choice for how he's choosing to live, because he's clearly tapping back into his roots. I have a friend on Instagram, and all of a sudden he's a rapper from Chicago, like, a part of the culture. And all of a sudden he started posting these things about working with Kanye very cryptically. So I think that there's going to be a very deep-seated Chicago hometown connection, all about Dr. Donda. Excuse me?
Why is he in Atlanta then?
He just had their listening party there on Friday.
That is a good point.
So he must just stay there.
But he's not the first artist to do it. Tupac was like that. When Tupac finally made all his money from his album, he didn't leave his neighborhood. Even like when he had like astronomical amounts of money, he moved 3 doors down from my husband, who did not live in the nicest neighborhood. So like certain people like to stay with the culture, keep that that artistic integrity, and it fuels their creativity.
Tupac died when he was 24. Kanye's like 40-something.
Okay, but still, Tupac had millions of dollars to play with. He could have easily gone to Bel Air and had a huge mansion. He decided not to. I thought that was pretty admirable of him.
I don't know about admirable, but yeah, I mean.
Why? He knew what fueled his creativity. You don't think so?
Yeah, but there's a lot of, this is another conversation. There's a lot of danger that can come with that too.
Oh, true.
Like keeping that kind of money around people that don't have it can sometimes work out poorly.
Yep, that's a good point. Okay, so this is a really interesting story, because I feel like you guys have been talking about this story since I sat down, or at least like the concept of it.
This is on the homie group chat thread last night.
All right, well, let's dive into it. Kelly Clarkson has been ordered to pay up in her ongoing divorce battle. A judge ruled that Kelly has to pay her ex, Brandon Blackstock, almost $200,000 a month. That's $150,000 for spousal support, $45,000 a month for child support. She also has to shell out more than $1 million for her ex's attorney fees and pay any costs related to the divorce. According to court records, Kelly makes around $1.5 million a month. What do you think about this, Jeff?
He's accustomed to his lifestyle, and he deserves the money.
Ooh, Erica rolled her eyes. Go, Erica. Go, Erica.
I was waiting for this.
Wasn't his daddy the owner of the company that he was a manager for?
Yes.
Still is, and he's suing Kelly Clarkson for commissions not paid.
Yeah, he managed her career.
And he's also been very nasty from the beginning. He was speaking out, and she wasn't speaking out. So I'm sure that there's a lifestyle he's been accustomed to. Daddy gave it to him, and now she has to continue to pay for it.
And the courts gave it to him too, Erica, and that's who we cannot continue to like let this ride. I don't think that the courts are there to destroy people. I don't know too many people on this planet that can constantly, because we say, oh, she makes $1.5 million a month. Now she does. Well, she's in entertainment. Right. That changes very quickly.
Isn't this a double standard, though? Because when it's the flip side, when we're talking about, let's say, a male artist and the mom or the wife, and I know traditionally speaking, it might be the wife that's managing the household, taking care of the kids. I know that that's traditionally speaking, but perhaps that's not their living situation. So everyone is defending Kelly Clarkson in this situation. I'm not saying who I'm defending, but if the roles were reversed, it would be different. Why the double standard?
I think that in this particular situation, you have someone who isn't living up to the expectation of when they came into the marriage. In a lot of these situations, Dr. Dre was ordered to pay his ex-wife $300,000 a month. That's only $100,000 more, and they were married for 25 years. These folks were married for like 2 hot seconds. I know it's 7 years, but
That's 2 hot seconds. I mean, and the idea that he was able to have this lifestyle before and just chooses to do something else. Like, what if everyone just chose to, like, I know that you're living to the greatest of your potential, but I'm just going to sit back and ride this out. And that wasn't a part of the initial agreement.
But we're also looking at the number without looking at the formula. So, like, if she was making $2,000 a month, they're still going to take about 13%, whatever that formula is, and give it for spousal support or child support. Because she's making astronomically a lot of money, $1.5 million a month, that's insane.
But you could argue that $2,000 would be more hurtful to that person. If you're making $2,000 a month, you're kind of just getting by. So if somebody takes 13% of that, you're going to feel that a lot more.
You got to argue with the court system because they have their formula. It doesn't matter if you're making $30 million a month or $2,000 a month. They're still going to take that same percentage.
It seems like these rules were made at a time where you know, they were like no function. Like, he's a young man that has the rest of his life. Like, this functional adult gets $200,000 a year, a month for
what
nothing.
What if he was taking care of their kids the whole time? I don't know that. I'm just playing devil's advocate. Because a lot of times, if the woman
he can do it now, Sam. He can get him a new caddy every month, $45,000.
But traditionally speaking, if the woman's taking care of the kids for 30 years, not 3 years, but in Dr. Dre's case, and she wasn't able to get a job or fine-tune her skills, her resume skills, if all of that has gone, then yeah, all of a sudden, what is she supposed to do? She raised her children.
I think that's what the original rules were for people that kind of sacrifice their career. But now we're just talking about young socialites that just want to go to different parties than their exes.
For sure. I agree. No, I agree. I definitely do. All right, coming up on DBL.
Agree?
I do.
All right.
Coming up on DBL, you guys, Tito Jackson is here live. There he is. We can't wait to talk with him coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
Hi, DBL Nation. I hear Erica talking over here, so we're going to continue the conversation. What were you saying, Eve?
Yeah, no, I think the whole conversation about spousal support is an interesting conversation because that is something that people choose or just don't think about to have that conversation when they're entering into a relationship.
Exactly.
Like, my husband and I had that conversation, and it was very clear, although in the beginning there was a point where I did not have a job, and a big part of what I did on a daily basis was to support what he was doing in the interim till I found a job. But the moment that I started working again, and he would always say, like, your job is not to take care of me. Like, your job is to take care of yourself so that we can be a partnership in this agreement. And the same with him when the roles have reversed. So I think that we just need to be a little bit more vocal and communicate with our partners about what the expectation is, so you don't have one person who's catering, which happens a lot, to another person without the understanding that if this doesn't work out, then I need to be compensated for that.
Is this more for him?
DBL Nation, we also want to send our well wishes to actor Bob Odenkirk. He did pass out on set of Better Call Saul yesterday. We have not gotten any updates. Bryan Cranston, actor and co-star in Breaking Bad, is wishing him well. We will keep you updated on that as soon as we get any updates. Let us know your opinions on what Erica was talking about. We'll see you soon.
So we are having some technical difficulties getting Tito. So just know I'm going to be communicating with our producers, and our goal is to get him on here. If not, we'll have to get him on later on in the week. So Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis don't spend a lot of time on bath bath time for their kids? Speaking on Dax Shepard's Armchair Expert podcast, the couple said that they didn't bathe their two kids that often when they were babies. Have a listen.
When I had children, I also didn't wash them every day. Like, I wasn't the parent that bathed my newborns ever.
Now, here's the thing. If you can see the dirt on them, clean them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's no point.
Oh my gosh, I get it. It's so funny, to each its own. Sophie was the type of baby where we were really structured. Like, they call it like the 4 Bs, like bath, boob, books, and bed. And we really, she loved her bath time. Miles isn't that into bath time, so we don't bathe Miles every day. A couple days a week, that's the truth.
Is it weird that I'm kind of with this? Babies don't get dirty that much. And do you want to introduce chemical? What are you dunking them in a? They don't get that. What are you rolling in a softball field?
But how
They're in a blanket all day.
How often do you bathe?
Almost every day. I would say.
Every day they bathe.
Babies. What do you mean they don't get dirty?
They don't.
They just produce liquids.
Yeah, you wipe them off. It's like new leather seats in a BMW. You don't just scrub it.
Yeah, but you don't. Listen, you don't go to the bathroom in your pants and then go take a shower 4 days later, okay?
That's a great
responsible
point.
parent, you wash your kid.
That's a great point.
We're ready for Tito. Tito Jackson is here. Okay, so
Perfect timing.
Tito, thank you for joining us. I believe we have a soundbite first. Oh, there's Tito. Okay, let's listen to the new album. Wow. Okay, Tito, Jack, we are all literally rocking out.
Full disclosure, while that was playing, Tito, I just turned to my co-host. I was like, I think I love this.
Yeah.
I mean, that was funky.
Yeah, that is good, Tito.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
What inspired you for this album particularly? Did you have a sound in your mind, or did you actually go into the studio and it just kind of like unraveled?
Well, a little bit of both. You know, I had always planned to do a blues recording my whole career, but now's the time. And it started prior to the pandemic. I would say about a couple of months before. We had a few songs, including George Benson song Rock Me Baby, which is B.B. King's tribute that we did with Claudette King. So given saying all that and loving blues and traveling with the band and all that, one thing happened after another.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I mean, you're no stranger to this business. You've been making music since the 70s with your brothers, but it wasn't until 2016 that you released your first solo album, Tito Time. Now you're about to release your second album, Under Your Spell. Why was it so important for you to focus on being a father first before finally exploring your solo career?
Well, I was a young father. I got married 2 weeks out of high school, and at the age of 20, I had my first son, and the solo records were going around in the Jackson family. Michael had his solos, and Jackie had his, and so did Marlon and Jermaine. And I was the only Jackson in the family, including the girls, that never recorded. So every member in the family had a solo. I wanted to raise my boys. I was young. I was busy as heck with the Jackson 5, and I just couldn't find the time to find a solo career amongst all that. So I concentrated on my boys.
Well, first of all, you're sitting next to, you're with two dads right here that really respect that. You know, and I'm going to go off script for this question because just hearing that music, I have to ask you about this. Where did you go in your heart and your soul to find that sound? Because that sounds like that's been in you for decades. It's such a funky collaboration with the harmonica there, with the guitar, with your voice over it. It's just such a, I feel like I should be outdoors with a drink, just hanging out with friends, talking, listening to that. That's a great sound you got. Where'd that come from?
And you don't drink.
I don't drink, yeah. Hey, give me sparkling water, yeah.
I think that all basically came from the inspiration of the movement of today with all the situations we have with not showing love to each other, I should say, with the Capitol situation and the George Floyd situation. And it's time for calling for people to remember to love one each other. And I think that flared up all type of energy and lyrics and feelings and what have you.
Wow.
That was inspiring.
yeah.
I will be picking that up.
Amen. Tito Jackson, thank you so much for joining us. DBL Nation, you can hear more of Tito's new album, Under Your Spell, soon. It will be available to stream and download August 6th. Thank you so much, Tito, for taking the time. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
I'm digging that. Thank you, brother. Be back soon.
We all know that.
Welcome back to DBL. Once you hit age 40, it can get harder and harder to lose weight and to keep it off. So we're going to chat about it on DBL's Focus on Fitness presented by QB. Turning 40 is great, but your metabolism slowing down, not so great. Here are a couple of the top ways to help with that. First, create a list of reasons you want to lose weight and figure out exactly what is motivating you. Next, be mindful of your portion sizes while eating. This will easily help cut back on calories. We're all a work of progress, right? And just remember, you are not in this alone. So staying active is important, and QB has made it easy regardless of physical ability or age. Try their under-desk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-782-2351 or visit QB.com to learn more.
Yeah.
You like hang pictures, right?
I have, I write down goals
you?
and different things like that, you know.
But I thought you also had like a picture of you that you hung on the fridge, or no?
No.
Wow.
Well, of myself?
You did. I thought you said you once hung like a picture of yourself on the fridge.
I think you dreamed that.
Oh, I used to do that before
it was Erica.
competitions.
Okay,
yeah,
thank you.
to
One of
remind
my
me like
co-hosts.
what I needed to work on for the next competition. I would put it in the pantry.
And it worked for you.
Yeah, well,
See?
I had to be ready. I had already invested a lot of money in that competition.
But I do need more pictures of myself around the house.
Yeah, I'm gonna start hanging pictures of myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna give them to Al too.
We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
The pandemic had a lot of Americans looking for financial relief wherever they could find it, and the government stimulus aimed to get it to them. But we received a handful of emails like this one from viewer Angela asking, does Congress give homeowners a relief program for mortgage payments? And she cites the website lowermybill.com. We found this similar claim boasting a $3,500 benefit for homeowners owing less than $331,000 on their home. So let's verify. Is there a Congress-approved homeowner relief program for mortgage payments? For our sources, we talked to Brandy Whitmire, a Dallas-based mortgage loan originator. She looked at the offers and says,
No, it's complete, like, it's clickbait, it's basically.
Tricky advertising. Whitmire says these companies take a few partial truths and combine them into a broad claim that is not really what it appears. Mortgage companies Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are backed by the government, but calling these programs or these advertisements a Congress-approved relief program is misleading.
It's broken down. This ad is broken down to different segments of what could be a refinance opportunity with basically 3 different sectors.
What they want is for you to click that box and fill out a form that may or may not produce some kind of refinance opportunity to save money. But the broad claim of a Congress-approved mortgage relief program, we're going to verify that is false.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's not possible, but it does not mean, no, this is not a everyone gets this. There's a, no, not at all.
If you've been affected financially by the COVID-19 pandemic, the government does offer mortgage forbearance for federally backed or FHA loans on single-family homes.
Tomorrow on DBL, a man wrongfully convicted of rape calls for criminal justice reform.
I'm trying to change some of the old, outdated law.
Don't miss this all-new Freedom Files. And the dog whisperer himself, Cesar Millan, is here.
The only thing I wanted to do is to teach people there is no such a thing as a bad dog.
That's tomorrow on DBL.
Ooh, can't wait for that one. Welcome back to DBL. Erica, we got some comments.
Yes, and it's all about Tito Jackson.
Okay.
Great to see Tito on the show today, says Jamie. And Sean Gillis says, love that song from Tito Jackson and just downloaded the song on iTunes.
Nice. I'm going to download it and listen to it on the way home.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
That's a car ride home song for sure. Sunshine, I'm digging it.
How are you going to dance to it?
The same dance she always does.
No, it doesn't matter what the tune is.
Yeah.
That's a dance.
I do different dancing.
There he goes. Let's see it. They're playing the music.
Oh.
Sam is drunk girl at the jukebox dance. That's all right. I'm here for it.
DBL's new every day. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place.